We are live.
Oh yeah.
Hello,
Live.
readers and digital people. Welcome back to GPReeds. Tonight we are doing another live dive, but tonight is a little bit different. It is not only a text-based ARG that we are looking into, but we also have two special guests.
Hi, I'm Roxy. You may know me. I'm actually in OmniPie occasionally.
Hello, I'm Cole. I'm probably not an OmniPie.
You are.
Am I?
Yeah,
I
you
don't
are.
know.
How
I
do you
haven't
not
read
know?
OmniPie. Because I don't read it.
Oh, well, you're reading it tonight.
Oh, boy.
That Luna posts.
Well, glad to have you all here. For those of you who don't know, happy birthday to Roxy. I don't know if you want that
Thank
live,
you.
but it's live now.
Ooh, birthday.
Thank you.
Don't need that. Okay, can you all hear me okay? On the live chat. Good to see you, PieWrites. Little Ardet. Roxy is also here, and... Okay. In two places at once, apparently. Good to see you, Poof.
I'm everywhere.
Hey, Baphomet. Glad to see you, and you as well, Deku. Samantha! Mystere, wow, we got quite a pretty big crowd.
Oh sweet, Lily Ardat's in the chat. Lily Ardat actually makes another ARG, Relived Eternally, that's connected to PieWrites.
Awesome. Actually, if you all want to drop a link to that in the live chat, I will go back and look at it. Actually, I don't think you can do links in live chat. Just leave a comment on any video, it doesn't matter, or just DM me. I'd love to check that out later. Alright, well, let's go ahead and get started. So we've got different characters here. I'm gonna have to look at the chart though, because I can't remember anything.
There's a lot of characters.
There's quite the few.
Quite a few.
Yeah, there's only like, what, like 30 characters? It's fine.
Only?
Oh,
I have no idea how many there actually are. It's a lot.
probably more than 30 actually.
I think Dingus said that Luna counted 45,
40.
including themselves.
Oh, wow.
Including Dingus, there are 45 characters according to Luna.
Yeah.
That's intense. Alright, so Roxy, I mean, we're probably going to have to take more than the two characters that we chose, but Roxy will be playing
Yeah.
Rose and Terminal. Connor will be playing Michael and Lucas, and I'll be playing Oliver and Happy One. But we'll just, as we go, if you all just let me know what you want to play, and we'll go from there. Because, I mean, like you said, there's like, what, 45, so, yeah.
Yeah, 45. It's quite the chunk.
Alright, so this was actually played in a game format, which is really interesting. I'm not sure if... I don't think this is still ongoing, is it?
It is.
It is
It
ongoing
is still ongoing.
Interesting. I may have to jump into this. But, we're not going to go into all the player details. We're not going to go into the deep mechanics, but I am going to read the setting and the plot, and then I guess we'll just jump right into it. There is over 1,000 entries, so probably not going to cover it all tonight, but we're going to get into it as much as we can, so I'm going to go ahead and get started before we take up too much time. Alright, the setting. The players are called Risen. This game takes place in an alternate universe, or an alternate version of our Earth. Humans were transformed into non-ferals, walking, citizenized animals with modern technology, while ferals remain wild animals in the same way they are on Earth. It has all of the modern features and technology of our Earth, but it's run by animal people who wear clothes and speak English and other languages. In this game, this alternate universe version of Earth is currently in 2015. Ours is in the year, well, 2022 now. We do not know why this is the case. Alright, the plot is Julian lives in a family cult and invented a computer system called, it's called DARTIS, or the Divulgaric Anomaly Transmission Receiver Radar System. A transmitter collects data from the house she lives in and formats the data into text and images through a pylon and is sent over to a Twitter account named @PieWrites. The data displays one person's thoughts at a time with the number prefix. Only people who have come in contact with divulgar blood can communicate to the Risen using daggers. Risen's What is that actually? Do they just call it datters? Or they call it DATRS? What do they usually call
Yeah,
it?
datters.
Datters.
I
Okay.
pronounce it datters. I don't know how it's canonically pronounced.
I'm going to call it datters. Risen's interactions are relayed back telepathically. Risen can also interact with the bot's command system by using that prefix, /. Okay. So that is the basics of it. There is it goes into some extreme details. It goes into hybridizations, it goes more into the blood, the actual color of it and everything. Yeah, I don't think we're going to go into that tonight. I may go back and go into these later. Actually, I might tonight if something doesn't make sense to me, but I'm pretty sure you all will be able to explain it to me. You especially, Roxy, so I may not need to do all that. Since you're a player and everything. I mean, Connor's a player too, but, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Lot of background details. Okay, and now we're at the timeline. So we begin at 2014, the OG timeline. The beginning was on May 21st of 2020 is when it was posted, but this is actually in 2014. Alright. So when it comes to this kind of stuff, I guess I'll just read it. I don't think it's... How will we know when someone's talking? Is it going to have like a format with the speaker first, or...
For the datters stuff, it's gonna appear in brackets.
Okay. Okay. So it looks like a lot of this is just kind of build up.
It's written in a format like a journal, kind of the player's experiences.
Okay. Well, if I start reading someone else's lines, just let me know. Okay. The Twitter account PieWrites is created as Gale figures out how to use Dardus and how the data behaves. Divulgar blood in the house has altered how some of the devices in the house work along with other anomalies. Oscular's confused about how to get back in contact with the Risen and remembers they want to save Gale but can't find anyone willing to help online. Alright, and then... Okay, so when it has the M... I forgot what that means. Do you remember what the M...
It was added by Michael.
Yeah.
Okay. So, was one of us playing Michael? That was Connor, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, do you want to go ahead and read these then?
So, Purify 1. Oscar deleted a lot of unnecessary tweets except for a few to make the account easier to understand in order to draw more attention. Oscar finds Divulgar in their world and explains the situation to Locke. Locke discusses with other Divulgars and they decide to help guide the Risen that Oscar remembered to the account. Risen found the Twitter account and briefly met Gale, Oscar, Michael, Madeline, Christopher, Harper, and Riley. Oscar deleted a lot of unnecessary tweets except for a few to maintain the Risen's attention.
And then we're on the trailhead. On February 28th, Locke 2020 joined the Vehement's Discord server with anomalous Telegram messages of images and codes that, when posted, would be deleted from Telegram by the sender. The trail died off till Wacko Magician tracked down the corresponding Twitter account PieWrites and the ARG's Discord account PieWrites, which was already on the server. At this point, a channel was made for the game on Vehement's. We briefly met with the cast Gale, Riley, Michael, Lucas, and Christopher. At this point in time, the Mighty were called Saints, and Gale had her own prefix, that being the /. Madeline's headache. After interacting with Oscar, we met Madeline, who was used to be a broken pure. She woke up with a cold, smooth face, and was able to walk again, which is odd, seeing how she had messed up legs due to her affliction. Soon after, she experiences headaches before Oscar seemingly convinces her to murder Christopher, an arrogant, soon-to-be Mighty. Before running away from the scene, she sees Michael standing on Christopher's body and smiling before leaving as well. Madeline's headache goes away as she hides in the dark with the rest of the pure Brokens. Right, then, number 7, Disconnect 1. Gale was near to Dardus hub in the basement when Oscar caused the hub to overheat. We turned the cooling fans on, which created noise that could be heard by a Mighty upstairs. We attempt to turn the cooling fans off, but are met with a mocking smile. The Mighty take Gale away for corrections and destroy the hub, which disconnects from Twitter. When the hub reconnects 2 days later, Gale has been overtreated and is allowed to roam the building. The Mighty now monitors Gale's activities on Dardis with user 123. Welcome to Disconnect 1. Entry 8. Oscar's Puppets. Oscar starts to lose hope, till we suggest he try to overthrow the Mighty in order to save Gale. Delighted by this idea, he vaguely explains he has 2 puppets available to help. He asks us to eventually choose between a puppet of anger or a puppet of confusion, both of which could be untold consequences on the future. Number 9. The Beheading. Gale heard a scream upstairs and found out a Mighty conducting a correction was beheaded, and the murderer got away. The Mighty announced that all corrections will be done in groups of 3 now. Entry number 10. First Judgment. This was on 319. After we asked Michael what killed the Mighty that day, Madeline had a headache. The Resident asked by Pi, in a fractal font, if we fear angels, skinwalkers, many-faced beasts, and many other biblical and stereotypical evil beings, while having a conversation about judgment and revenge before disappearing. We didn't know it at the time, but this would be the last we heard about it, or see a familiar font. Disconnect number 2. While arguing with Christopher, despite him supposedly being dead, user 123 goes online at just the wrong time. We attempted to please them, but user 123 doesn't believe us. The Mighty take Gale away for correction again, and destroy the hub and transmitter, which disconnects from Twitter. Dardis reconnects a day later. Some other than Gale had rebuilt Dardis for her as she returned to her hub. Welcome to Disconnect 2. Alright, Lucas the Mighty. After Dardis was rebuilt by Unknown, things seem to be back to normal. Oscar is his usual creepy, smiley self. Christopher is not dead? You know, the usual. We heard Lucas speaking to himself as per usual, talking about he'd pretend to like orange, even despite loving mint green himself. Lucas reveals to Jim that he received a promotion and is feeling rather uncomfortable with the prospect of forced respect like that. After a genuinely sweet conversation, we learn that Lucas is forcing himself to like orange to appease the other Mighty, but actually hates it so much. We also learn just how innocent Luke was, maybe a bit too innocent for someone who's 24 years old. Ultimately, her date with Lucas had to be cut short because a certain Oscar decided to butt in, asking if we had made any decisions on which puppet to use. We decided to use the Rage puppet, with a condition that it didn't bother Lucas. Oscar was fine with it, and went to work untangling the strings. The Puppet of Rage. On the morning after we chose to use Rage, Lucas was freaking out because he would have to perform corrections for the first time. Luke did not want to, and was hyperventilating at the mere thought of hurting one of his brethren. Unfortunately for him, the corrections target wasn't normal. It had a strangely smooth face, like it was wearing a mask. It was also growling and started attacking the Mighty while locked away in the blue room. Thankfully, it never touched Lucas, but the sight of its aftermath, the blood all over the walls, the dead bodies, it was too much for him. He sadly passed out in the blue room. Shortly after, we hear Michael with his usual uproarious laughter. He teased poor Luke due to his inability to handle gore, which confirmed just how utterly sadistic and unempathetic he truly is. He also confirmed to be able to see our chat in the Vehemence Discord. So that's another PieWrites user confirmed. What we never thought about at the time, if the room was locked up and everyone else was supposed to be in the BSMT, how did Michael know about the chaos that took place? Dadders versus Oscar. Early one morning, Oscar was clearly pissed off about something. Gale tried to get him to calm down, but wasn't able to. His constant screaming and, lack for a better term, internal keyboard smashing, made Dardis overheat. Gale attempted to calm him further, but he would not. We jumped in to assist Gale, but to no avail. But before Dardis could be destroyed and Disconnect 3 force us on quickly, Gale pulled out a trump card. Mode Pause, and Dardis stopped. After a minute, Dardis announced that this temperature was regulated. A simple Mode Pause Off, or Mode Unpause, is all it takes to restore Dardis back to its normal self. This gives us an out in case it starts overheating again. No need to use the fans, thankfully. For the remainder of the evening, Gale keeps Stardust paused so that Oscar can have the chance to calm down. The morning after, a Mighty announces the other two Mighty died in the attack on Corrections, and that no one is to move between floors. Gale removes Data Subset 1, which basically places a gag of sorts on Oscar, not allowing him to speak whatsoever, aside from very muffled things. We finally had some counterplay against his screaming, even if it was temporary. Very temporary, as I soon find out. Risen versus Oscar, the Orange Gambit. The next day, we're greeted by an Oscar in a much better, kinder mood. Well, for like 10 minutes. Shortly after, he's back to his old self. He realizes that saving Gale may not be possible in his current state. Dardus reports cooling fans disconnected, and Liv panicked. Made the correct move to pause Dardus until more of us woke up. For a few hours, it's a very pleasant silence. I decide that it's been long enough. Perhaps Oscar calmed down. It wasn't long enough for Oscar because he's been screaming non-stop. Whoa, look at that entry. We paused it quickly, but after Oscar insults her lack of purity, Gale does something completely understandable. She ups and leaves. We really needed her to help quell Oscar's rage. We needed a more permanent solution to this issue than just to constantly pause and unpause Dardus, because that's clearly not enough. According to Gale, Oscar is experiencing a Dovulgaric episode because he's not himself right now. To be exact, he is the polar opposite of how he normally acts. We posited that maybe to calm someone in Dovulgar mode, maybe orange might help them out. Orange means safety and comfort to the pure. Maybe it'll mean the same to Oscar. We sprung into action, spamming the overloved hell out of him, with orange on both Twitter and Discord, hoping it would calm down, and it worked. Our Orange Gambit worked really well. Perhaps too well. It seemed like it forced Oscar into a sort of trance-like state, where orange was literally anything and everything he could think of. In fact, we learned his favorite shade of orange is called Safety Orange. While he was in this state, we decided to try some of the other colors on him, thinking that maybe it would have some effect, but nothing worked. Just orange. Only orange. After he finally came back to us and was vocal, Oscar showed some serious disdain for me, saying that I had betrayed his trust. He would no longer speak to me, which made me angry, but at the same time I understood that perhaps taking advantage of his weaknesses was unfair. Michael finds the internet. That same morning, Michael is doing his usual laughing and giggling, except with a key difference. He's found access to YouTube. How was this possible was unknown to us at the time. Follow that up with assorted memes, and while this isn't exactly the most major event at face value, it turns into something very interesting soon. To quote Michael, "No internet is amazing." Okay. Meeting at Michael's Pie. We woke up the next morning to find Michael watching anime. In less than 24 hours, he's turned into a total weeaboo. And we consider ourselves doomed because right after this, he started with the anime memes, and then the Tumblr memes. Then he started showing signs of being a Kenny, whatever the heck that means. Dardus starts overheating, and we go to pause when Gale does it for us. She tells Michael not to use Dardus for memes, so he has the brilliant idea to escape. He finds a computer in a room with a lot of books outside of the mansion. We recognized he might not know what a library is due to being so sheltered, so we got worried. And then I got a massive surprise. Michael followed me on his own personal account. Oh god, he's got his own account. And he found emojis. And more YouTube. And dabbing! The horror! It got really bad. He sent Gale a really loud Rickroll troll video and told her to play it at max volume. And she got sent 2 corrections for it. We knew enough was enough at this point, and decided to put a plan into motion to calm Michael down finally. We knew his favorite color was Razmetaz, so we looked for an opposite color to that and found mint green. Very odd seeing that someone else's favorite color. Threw images of it into his face and it worked a bit too well. It was almost like he was a different person. Lucas versus the real world. Strangely, Michael asked for Jem's assistance at this point. We didn't know where he was, worried that no one else was a pure. But then he got confused about the name we kept calling him, stating it was his middle name. It was Lucas all along. Lucas Michael Moore, to be exact. Gail's older brother. But we couldn't celebrate for long because peers began to enter the library. Panicked, we unpaused Dardis and swapped to the other account to stay by Lucas's side. He saw other non-ferals. He saw buildings. We found a place with an umbrella and ice cream. We asked if he had anything in his pockets, but it was just a green piece of paper with mint chocolate chip ice cream and ha 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 on it. And then silence. We wouldn't hear back from Lucas until later on. Later that day, Lucas found back at home and doesn't remember anything. He notices that there's something sweet and black between his teeth. It also had a clean taste to it. Somehow, he got some mint chocolate chip ice cream. Yes, some mint chocolate chip ice cream while out and about, but was confused as to how. We later confirmed that Lucas is Michael's corrective state. Michael is the pain from corrections and treatment that Lucas felt before becoming an Unbroken. To pull Lucas out, we used pictures to suggest mint green or mint chocolate chip ice cream to remind him of his former self. Oscar vs. Risen 2, Orange Harder. With Gail still in corrections and Michael spamming our notification feed with various memes and normal insane laughter, Oscar comes back to us fuming mad. He was gagged once again with data exclusion and could barely get out any words. He even jumped into the Discord server channel to try and plead for help, but until he got "I'm sorry" out, we didn't budge. We figured maybe his assault on our Twitter feeds would be over, so we released his restraint. He was chill with us and actually answered some of our questions. But of course, Oscar being Oscar, he couldn't sit still for long and went back to his tantrum, to which we paused Dardis again. Then unpaused, then paused again, after more screaming. Thankfully, Gail came back at the perfect time to see what was going on. She's well, and though unsure how much more correction she can take before breaking, we're all tired and ready to go to bed. But Gail does the most Gail thing ever and just smashes Oscar with more orange. Disconnect 3. The next morning, Gail unpauses Dardis, noting how quiet it was. Perhaps a little too quiet. All this morning it was non-stop orange from Oscar. It's possible that last night's stunt has broken something in his mind because he's not even speaking, just posting orange-colored images. According to Gail, the Mighty announced 12 dead or missing, 4 Mighty, 2 Impures, 6 Outsiders. The subdued, overtreed betrayers are no longer allowed to roam and be forced to stay on F1. Confused by the word outsiders, we ask her about them. Apparently, home gets visitors every so often, mostly from money-related exchanges. It is a family of scientists, after all. Meanwhile, we're surprised to hear a less familiar voice. We thought it was Luke, but it was instead Madeline trying to remember someone's name. She then asked Luna about sweet flavors. Gail notices she's speaking again and asks questions pertaining to her location. Then the big one. Did you kill anyone? To which her response was yes, but she lost count. Seems like she's the one responsible for the murder of 6 housemates and 6 outsiders we heard about. We theorize that Madeline is the identity of the Puppet of Rage. Fast forward to later that afternoon, Oscar finally shakes free of orange justice we inflicted on him last night and absolutely loves it. He threatened to destroy Dardis himself, if need be, and began to have yet another tantrum. I am the 17. I'll end all that oppose all. Okay. And silence. Then, transmitter lost connection, followed by disconnect. Oscar did it. He forced us into our 3rd disconnect, and the fates of our friends locked into the mansion from hell would have to wait. Or at least we thought we wouldn't have to wait. For things were only just getting started. Over the next few days, we would experience a darkness we couldn't have dreamt of. Welcome to Disconnect 3. Alright. Do you all want to read some of these, or do you want me to just keep going? It's up to you.
I've read a few. I'm good for right now.
Okay. Alright, welcome everyone who just made to the stream. We are reading PieWrites, and so far it's really interesting. I did not expect this virtual world interaction. Still a little bit behind, but as we go into it, I'm starting to get more of the picture. Probably should have read the rest of the description. Oh well, we'll get it. Alright. Michael's meme deal. Shortly after the events that led to Disconnect 3, Michael on his phone kept spamming us with memes. We decided to join him, thinking maybe we'll get more information, so we traded the worst memes we could find for info. Also, Picklework. We learned that Oscar died, that Gail was sent to corrections again, even despite saying she doesn't know how much more she can handle. But even though all that, it is basically just a chill time with Michael. But of course, all relaxation must come to an end. We ask a question that has come up before. What do you know? What's going to happen? And Michael utterly loses it. A new font appears. It's edgy. It's gothic. It's something I've seen many times on RP Twitter. Basically, Fractor font. But we learned that Michael is no longer in control. Whenever his divulgaric blood speaks, it's in this font. And once again, it asks questions of the highest order of edge. Do you fear angels? The beast of many faces? Amit? Nyan? Baba Noel? Do you fear me? Of course, we have no reason to. At least we didn't think we did. But as time went on, we started to understand exactly what Michael's blood meant. Also, it has a name. Pi. It gives Michael's Twitter account new meaning. Michael Pi means Michael's blood. At Only Orange. The next day, Disconnect 3 is in full swing. We wake up to Michael doing his normal thing, which is to say, being a loud butthole. We had the bright idea to see if we could get a hold of Gail, since maybe we could get her to rebuild Datters. Unfortunately, Michael did not know her new Twitter account. He only knew that it had a lot of orange, which isn't good. We noticed the PieWrites Discord account has a custom status, I'm Only Orange. Her Twitter account is that, at Only Orange. What we saw there was unpleasant to say the least. Literally hundreds of tweets, no texts, of orange-colored images. Luna decided that enough was enough and that we needed to break her out of this trance. She changed certain parts of her personal Twitter account, including one of the orange images, and swapped out the usual blue heart for an orange one, which bothered her, seeing how orange is her least favorite color. We knew Gail's favorite color was yellow, so we showed her to tongue-tied. So she showed her some to try and get her attention. When Gail asked who she was, Luna just said, I'm pure. And just like that, she was in a position of tense duel with her punished friend. Luna Nightmare says, can build a data transfer and hub that interacts with beings from other worlds. False 4, I'm pure. Oh, it's a joke. See again with the memes. For over an hour, both Luna and Gail talked about it. Gail being fervently pro-orange and Luna hating every second of it. It was honestly a very enlightening conversation, because it just showed how fearful and insecure Gail truly was. After an hour, Luna grew tired of the conversation and decided to go in for the final blow. Honey, as much as I know you'd believe that, there's no way that could be true. In fact, I could prove it. Would you like me to? And she did. Luna proved the fact that her eyes were actually hazel in color, and that she despised the color orange. In fact, her favorite color's blue. And that snapped Gail right out of her trance. Surprisingly easy. But then again, she wasn't really putting up much of a fight. Luna told her to take her betrayal label as a badge of pride. Afterwards, she apologizes to us for acting like that and thanked Luna for helping her out. She said she would quickly rebuild Datters so we could get back to work. Also this, which has no resemblance of chill. Classic Gail. Yeah, that. Alright, Madeline goes outside. The next day, we woke up to Datters reconnecting and Twitter being its usual busy self. Gail explained what happened during Disconnect 3. So Oscar had me mixed up with someone else and decided to break out of the attic to try and kill me for how I treated him. The Mighty killed Oscar before he could get to me, but in the process destroyed Datters. Afterwards, everyone returned to their floors, and anyone there unsure about where they were sent to corrections as Mighty were upset over some of the losses. I lost hope and used Only Orange after I got out of corrections. The Risen found me and brought me back to my senses. So that happened. Oscar's dead, Gail is back, Madeline is outside? Apparently there's a secret place where she's able to escape back and forth from the house. She found a mirror outside and finally realized her afflictions. Sunken eyes, the unmovable mouth, her face completely frozen. Thankfully she can still walk. She also realized that she's been breaking into houses and eating whatever she finds. Also seems like she stole a bottle of flamingo fragrance. A bottle of pink perfume. Oscar's return. After Madeline left, we were greeted by a familiar smile. Oscar died though, right? Turns out, we're able to speak to past versions of the family due to the divulgar blood. Think of them as simulations. Basically, a record of the person's behaviors, personalities, and memories from particular time frames. This particular Oscar simulated was from 2012. He's a 12-year-old boy, which makes him 14 when he died. He told us a story where he went to the ocean with his sister Madeline, who wears a purple jacket, much like Gil does now. They snuck out, traveled along the island to see the ocean, then went back. In fact, we learned Oscar's favorite color was blue from this entire time due to seeing the ocean, and it making that big of an impact on him. Unfortunately, our time with the 2012 Oscar was limited due to his divulgar blood not having much data available for simulation. That said, Gil confirmed with us something we never knew. Okay, so I went back and read what was happening. This is normal. The divulgar blood anomalies can pretend to be anything, even pretend to be someone when they were alive. It is 2014 right now. Any other year is just the data from datters pretending to be from then. Normal, right? Also 2014? I thought it was 2021. Meet Darren the Simp. A new face appears on datters, one simply opened with filth. After Jim made a 200 IQ bluff and said she's pure, she opened a conversation with Darren. Dude's a massive simp for the ladies, even going so far as to suck up to them. He's basically the most useless mighty, but he does not enjoy performing corrections. He describes it as a stress reliever from dealing with the betrayers. Gil comes up afterwards and shows her disdain for Darren. She also said something about a curse, about how creating a pure bloodline can go wrong down the line with inbreeding and the like. This totally doesn't come up later. Divulgars among us. The PieWrites Discord account was suddenly active that same evening. It said that we had divulgars among us. We thought maybe Michael was playing a trick on us, but it wasn't him. Nor was it Madeline, or even Oscar. According to this new entity, we wouldn't be able to know if we were divulgar. But they definitely exist within our team. Oh, very sus. Meet Charlie. Yet another new character popped in with just a single emoji, and thus began one of the comfiest conversations yet. This new character is named Charlie. She is 361-year-old betrayer, who's also an impure broken. She lives in the attic, and her favorite color is white. She also said something about how she used to be a pure, but due to her betrayal, the family demoted her to impure, which apparently can happen. If you're curious about what she looks like, there's a picture, but it didn't show the picture. The Puppet of Confusion, Judgment Day. Shortly after, we spoke to Michael, and old Edgy came out again to taunt us. He offered to tell us the name of the Puppet of Confusion, but we would lose our aid in the process. Of course, we said no at first, because that was something that all Oscars doing, and he was dead. Also, we didn't know if we could trust this person's word. Next day comes, Pie asks the same question. We think it over, and again the answer is no. Next evening, Luna speaks to Michael for a while about the fourth dimension, and about he sees judgment coming for someone, and that he would tell us, but it would be too confusing. Luna brings it up to the rest of the team, thinking maybe this deal with Pie could bring about some useful information, and we set our plan into motion. She lets PieWrites know that we're taking the deal, and the trap is sprung. Locke, who used to be one of our allies, brings out the same edgy as heck fractor font and asks for a character role. As a result of our choice, we would lose her as an ally and be on our own for the remainder of the game. Luna, who saw the betrayal from a mile away, made it public that a copy of the summary document Locke made was stored on her personal drive. Locke proceeded to delete all of the information on her copy of the doc and replaced it with, "You're in hard mode now." And who was the Puppet of Confusion? It was us, because we fell for an obvious trap, and we were confused as heck afterwards. Wow. First contact with the outside. The next day, we noticed someone new speaking through datters. To make a long and rather confusing story short, a non-feral raccoon named Will took some drugs which enabled him to communicate through datters. He is an outsider with a wife and 2 children. And of course, seeing how this is the first non-family member we've spoken to, Luna just lets it all out. On someone who's tripping on drugs, perhaps not the best thing to tell someone in that state. Oh well, at least someone's outside knows now, right? Will decides to call the cops on home and recover from the drugs he took. Maybe it'll work. Luna's note. It did not work. You know, now I'm starting to think, I don't know because I didn't read the thing, so I may be super wrong, but I kind of have a little bit of a theory right here. I kind of feel like this pure is like the original line of humans, and like there's all these animal humans and the pharaohs. I know that there's pharaohs and things like that, but I'm thinking these pures are like original humans. I guess we'll see. Alright, side story. The Supreme Space Shark, aka Meet Pamela. We woke up the next day to yet another face on datters. This time, they're from 2016, 2 years into the canon future, and they're a shark in space? Odd, but okay. Speaking to this person, whose name is Pamela, she's on a quest for the magical space boots, and teases us for having a lacquer dimension, unlike hers with magic and space unicorns. She's basically in some brony's fantasy, but 20% cooler. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Luna spoke with her for an hour, listening to her blather on about the supreme space strip and whatnot, until... Know what day for your rotation, Becker. And Luna fell for the cheapest trick in the book. First she loses to Locke, and now some space shark from the future. Darn it. 042. Also, none of this is canon, except the fact that Pamela is technically a canon character. The annual funeral. It's on the annual funeral. Anyway, later that same day, Will reappears on datters, letting us know that what they already did. The police kind of suck in this alternate Earth. They fell for the cheapest trick in the book. Anyway, another conversation happens with our druggy raccoon friend. We let him know more about what we know. The cult's goal, the fact that we have no idea about their motives, just as they asked for help and we said we would. And then, probably the most well-timed breakthrough of all time happened. Apparently there would be an annual funeral happening that evening. Something this perfectly timed doesn't happen very often. So we create a plan for Will to enter the cult house and snoop around, with a condition that if we told him to go, he would abide. He lets us know what he said before about his family life was a lie. He's actually half blind, and his kids and wife hate him. And he's using drugs as a means of coping with it. Anyway, we let him get ready, and about an hour later, he's in position. Will arrives near the house to very giddy-looking Michael waiting for him. We spring into action, seeing if he'll let Will look around for a bit. As Michael is his unpredictable butthole, we decide that Luke might be a better choice for this task. Just a bit of mint green from both Luna and Jim is enough to knock Michael out and draw out Lucas. We ask him to please let our ally look around, but as usual, Lucas is freaking out at the mere concept of outsiders coming in. But he reluctantly agrees shortly after and allows our friend to look around. Will found quite a frightening thing while inside. He made his way up to F3 and noticed that whoever owned this place was wealthy. There are a lot of paintings in the hallway. One of them is another non-Fox family. It turns out it was 2 hybrids and 5 children. The hybrids were a raven rabbit mom and a weasel dog dad. He also smelled something funky. He had no idea what it was, but it was coming off of the painting. But then, silence. It turns out he quickly left after spying something very disturbing. Another painting, but with 5 open graves and both parents hung from a tree. Great! Someone who's truly sadistic painted this, of their own family's death. Cool. And thus ends the adventure inside of the house. Well, not quite. For phase 2 of this adventure was coming right up. The Devulgar attack. So that happened. Will looked around home, smelled something truly unique, and then saw some messed up paintings. It can't get worse, right? Silly reader, it's PieWrites. Of course it can. Will's in the woods when he senses something. Something or someone is chasing him through the woods. We thought it was Michael attempting to give him a fright, so we hurried over to his account and spammed ever-loving heck out of him with everything we could think of, except nothing worked. And then lots of laughing happened. The usual for old Michael, but we had to admit, when our friend is in danger, hearing it makes things so much more unpleasant. We knew we needed to make some moves, except Will went completely wrong way in the forest and made it to a cliff. But then, something appeared. In Will's words, it has horns. An angel? Its eyes. Then nothing. Silence. Michael being a butthole on his account. Shortly after, we heard a very familiar voice. Gail's back. She asked what happened. But of course, she would add more detail to the account. And Gail had an idea who was in there with him. A divulger. And there's no counterplay for one of them aside from escaping. Sadly, we noticed that the Twitter banner changed. It looked like a thermal reading of something. Seemed like Will died out there, except he had strings coming out of his arms? It's really confusing. That was the end of our adventure. For now anyways, because with PieWrites, new events happen every single day. Also, hot dog became a recurring trend with the story. Good Will hunted. Next morning, we heard something straining to speak about dadders, and it turned out to be Will. He was in an incredibly bad shape. Something about being dizzy and his arm was ripped to shreds. Gail went out there to try to help him survive. She gave him basic first aid, then called the police using his phone. We wouldn't know his fate for, honestly, a whole day, because Will's will to live. Also, hot dog. The next day, Will laments to us that he's been going to have medical bills now, shockingly. Shockingly, Will is already back to normal. It was just his entire arm that got shredded by a divulger. No big deal. He recounts his time in the woods. Apparently, this divulger looked like an evil angel with horns. It had 4 eyes floating above its head, and it was wearing his... angels and demons. And was wearing a green jacket for some reason. Also in chat, both the PieWrites account and Locke were spamming the heck out of the word hot dog for some insane reason. Luna thought that they were annoying, but Michael pulled out that one image of a Pepto-Bismol covered hot dog. Oh, good grief. Which made her want to vomit. Yeah, me too. So what did she do? She simply said the word hot dog to Will, and it triggered something. Triggered me too. Apparently back in high school, Will suffered a very nauseating sunburn, or very nasty sunburn, and gained, sorry, I'm still thinking nauseating because of the hot dog. Will suffered a very nasty sunburn and gained a nickname for years on end. Oscar Mayer. Oscar. And he said that his favorite color is blue? This can't be a coincidence, right? What is happening, right? Seriously, what is happening right now?
It's terminal hot dog. Hot dog with terminal.
Yes.
Oh no.
This is great.
If I could summon someone by saying hot dog, I'd have so many people.
Oh, I found the image.
Oh, nice.
Oh no. Oh my god.
Look at it.
I might have to put this up on screen for a second.
Oh my gosh.
Oh!
Image.
Oh,
Image.
God. Okay, I'm gonna
Image
switch over.
courtesy of yours truly.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it is the worst. Look at that. Look at that mess. That is a
Terminal
pink
hot.
diarrhea hot dog is what that is.
It's so good.
Can't handle it.
Terminal hot dog. Hot dog made of terminal.
Terminal's blood is Pepto-Bismol right now.
Yeah, his blood is Pepto-Bismol, basically.
I can't handle it.
Horrible.
Okay, so before
Well, how
I
can I get
have a panic
some?
attack. It's so bad. Because what makes it worse is that I've had that before. And what I mean to say by I've had that before isn't that I've actually had a Pepto-Bismol hot dog. But I have
What?
it now, so I
Is
have
there like video evidence of this?
no. But I have irritable
Why
bowel
am I
syndrome.
not surprised?
So I know Pepto
I
very
am
well,
not surprised
and I ate a
in
bunch
the
of hot
slightest.
dogs. I still had some
You
in my
shouldn't be
mouth.
surprised.
I hadn't eaten Pepto-Bismol because it hit me as I was still chewing, so I know that flavor. So I technically have had a
Oh,
Pepto hot dog.
God.
You know,
Grant, we could have gone our whole lives without knowing this.
Brent, you know,
That
if
is
you need to
so
if you need to
fucking-
swap out with one of us and just like take a moment to recollect yourself
I
after
might.
that,
Would you all mind reading 35 through 37 for me while I recover?
I would not mind.
Thank you.
Lord. Christopher's return. Haha, we're just gonna skip over this one. Nothing happens that's worthwhile. Just, Christopher spoke to us from 2011. That's all. Luna didn't reveal things that happened 3 years ahead to him, and she definitely didn't embarrass the whole Risen group in one fell swoop. If anything, we were saved by his disdain for impures because he thought Luna was insane. The most painful document. Lucas woke up on the 5th with a strange document on his phone. Luna, thinking that it was a certain laughing boy, was reading this summary document and instructed him not to look at it, so instead he deleted it. Problem was, it turned out to be a document typed in red text that Lucas felt pain looking at. So maybe written in razzmatazz on purpose? Also, Luna attempted to unlock something with hot dog, but it didn't work. So basically, Lucas deleted lore. Oops.
Just had to say hot dog again.
Why?
That is good.
I'm over here like
Oh,
crying.
I'm never gonna escape this, am I?
Grant, I will personally DM you the Pepto-Bismol hot dog on the same day every year.
Okay.
Put it in your calendar.
So I'm gonna read 37 real quick. I still need a few more minutes.
Actually, you wanna read it?
37. I'll read 37, yeah.
Okay.
Go Queen.
37. Meet Amori. We noticed someone posted a color wheel on Dadders. Turns out it was Amori, someone who spoke up very briefly after over-treatment one evening, before succumbing to her injuries. She's very special in that she knows a lot about us, including the fact that we're in 2021 and they're in 2014. Amori also let us know that perhaps spamming orange to Oscar was a poor idea, reasoning being that overexposure to favorite color compliments, basically the opposite color, can trigger divulgaric attacks. So not only did Oscar suffer an overexposure to orange while in aftercare, but also even more of it when we thought it would calm him down. That explains why he was so gung-ho on not saving Gale and destroying Dadders a couple of weeks prior. We tried to help, yet failed miserably. Because of this, Amori refused to share her favorite color on the off chance that we would actively trigger an episode within her.
I know how that feels. Recently, okay, anyway. Back to the home. Disconnect 4. Later that day, Will comes back on Dadders, announcing that he got kicked from his family due to his drug binge and being a deadbeat. He wants something to do, and offers to re-enter the home for some more snooping around. We are okay with it, albeit nervous because we didn't have an excuse for the annual funeral to work around. He would be coming in while everyone is awake, just to look around on F3 again. We'll also ask this to refer to him as Oscar, a new and improved Oscar. Sus. He enters, goes back up to F3 and notices the paintings were unchanged. Though strolling further down into the hall, he sees paintings of the current family. But then he heard a cracking sound. No one knew what this was. We tried to get Will somewhere to hide, but aside from one of the rooms, that's all he had. The cracking sound got louder and louder, and then silence. That is, until Mama's Comin' was heard. Also some kind of scent. Ew. Will ducked into one of the blank rooms on F3, while the ultimate Yo Mama jokes crept through the hall. According to Michael, who was laughing his butt off somewhere else, this mama person is called the Mother of the Blood, and is one of the Mighty's guards. Great. Also, Gil came back, and at the exact perfect time. We let her know of the situation. She confirmed he's on F3 in one of the correction rooms. He needs to escape as soon as morning hits, but until then, he's forced to spend the night. Ooh, that's awful. Overnight, Error 403 was reported by Dadders. Next morning, the Mighty were up extra early. Will was caught in one of the blue correction rooms, and Dadders experienced yet another DC. Welcome to Disconnect 4. The Rabbit Hunt. The next morning, Lucas notices the weird red document is back on his phone and wonders who would keep stealing it to write something like that on it. The Risen asks him to read the title of the document, since that shouldn't affect him. The rabbit hunt. Lucas isn't able to read more than that due to the coloration, but it's more than enough for us. Lucas also attempts to use pet names for the Risen, and accidentally calls Luna a hot mess. While this may be true, it's a very hurtful thing to say to someone since it means unprofessional or cluttered. Luna sobs a tiny bit, but quickly gets over it. Oh, poor Luna. The hunt for the rabbit. Lucas lets the Risen know that he'll be speaking to Will about something concerning a rabbit. Luna, confused as per usual, asks what he means. Apparently, it's part of the annual funeral's customs. Day of the Raven, hunt for the rabbit, and then he posts it. The hellish red and pink document containing a gigantic lore dump. I refuse to post the original version of that document directly since it legitimately hurts to read, even if my Delvergeric blood isn't pink. Kidding. I transcribed it here. Should we read that?
Yes.
Can I click it here? Yes, I can.
It's perfectly fine.
Yeah,
to
you
read.
can click it.
I put it in
It's a
the
link.
The rabbit hunt 500 years ago. Family 1. All 4. Weasel, enemy. Dog, loyalty. Raven, death. Rabbit, cure. Interesting. Represented with weasel, dog, raven, and rabbit for symbolism. Died of an unpredictable fatal inherited disease represented by the weasel. Family was friends of the Moore family, represented by the loyal dog. The Moore family agrees to hold an annual funeral for the family, represented by the raven. The Moore family becomes a pure bloodline in an attempt to make a world where all diseases can be predicted and cured, represented by the rabbit. Afterwards, Michael appeared due to Lucas getting overexposed to Raz. It was written that way on purpose to stop Lucas from reading it. Also, a different side of Michael appeared. It was a much more pensive and serious side. It was refreshing. He tells of a promise he made to Madeline, but refused to go into detail. We backed off quickly, seeing how different this side of him was. Before he left, he asked us to save Maddie. We agreed to help, and thus ended one of the most pleasant conversations with Michael yet. Reconnect, return. So to begin, we need to go back a day or two. We learned that no matter who betrays the family, they get sent to overtreatment. Doesn't matter if you're actually part of the family or an outsider. Anyway, with that out of the way, we wake up this morning to Dadders being rebuilt and reconnected by someone other than Gale. It wasn't Emery. Or well, it was Emery. She explains how she doesn't know where Gale or Will are, that Will should be out of overtreatment by then. Strange how both of them are missing. Ooh. Later that evening, we got ourselves something very familiar. Lots of gifts featuring oranges and spammed on Dadders. Luna, thinking it was Will, went right over there and checked up. He was having an episode. With a quick splash of blue, it was enough to knock him out of his stupor. Only issue is, this isn't Will. This is Oscar. This is the Oscar that died 2 weeks ago. Panicked, Luna went right to work, learning everything he knew. He remembered his Divulgaric episode, wanting to kill Gale and Dadders, despite screaming internally not to. Luna told him he died, which explains why he woke up near a bunch of dead bodies. And then she lets him know about Will, the druggy raccoon who should have been recovered from overtreatment. Oscar, for lack of a better term, breaks. He thought this whole thing was a dream. It seems like the Will we knew was actually Oscar all along. But how does that work? The promise. Oscar is reminded of a promise Michael made to him. He asks him directly, but is blocked due to Lucas fronting at the time. The Risen go to work on pulling out Michael, but after a little bit trying to make Lucas laugh, nothing works, except a single mention of his trigger color. When Michael fronts, Oscar utterly loves it. He asks what the heck the whole thing was about. It had to be done for the greater good, is all that Michael would allow out. The next morning, Oscar lets us know something. He got sent back in time after making the promise to save Madeline. How? Who the heck knows? Just accept it. Oscar is back. Every time he asks about the method, he would be sent back to corrections. The Will we know became the Oscar we knew. The timeline got changed somehow. Also, Will Oscar still wants drugs. Risen explains it all. Gail comes onto Dadders and asks how it got reconnected. We explain that Emery, her assistant, reconnected everything like an absolute boss. Gail didn't know who this person was. It was introduced by Emery herself. She explains that she used to not be a clean betrayer, but she remembers what the blood predicted. Dadders isn't necessary for the family's survival. Gail, completely taken aback and confused by all of this, asks the Risen to catch her up on everything. And we did. We also explained how color complements work and how Michael and Lucas are the same person, like two sides of the same coin. We thought Gail knew about all of this, but alas, she was left in the dark. Oops. Mother of the Blood. Charlie reveals that her favorite color, white, is a huge problem because it complements black. Basically, sends her into a divulgaric episode every night. Also, we learn that Charlie is possibly Mama, the Mighty's guard, and that she can whisper in regular English at night. Also, there's some really kick-butt art on there of her blinded by light. Learning more about rabbits. The Mighty announces that a couple people escaped from home, and that corrections would be placed on hold until they were found. Luna speaks to Gail about who could have left. Also introduced her to Charlie, the 361-year-old betrayer. Luna also explains her divulgaric matters, including favorite color and how Charlie experiences episodes every night due to seeing a black sky. That would be awful. We believe Mama, the Mighty's night guard, could be Charlie. Also, Luna brought up the rabbit hunt and how there's a painting on F3 depicting a family with two hybrid parents, who are the same animals featured in the rabbit's hunt's history. We learned how the children died. It was a disease they inherited due to being hybrids. No wonder the family is so high-strung about being pure. In another side of the conversation, Broke learns that Dadders is honestly a miracle that it even works. It's basically a hilarious, jank homebrew PC that's made of a phone, a television screen, and an antenna. Something like this is even able to connect to us is beyond even Gail's comprehension. Lucas versus the real world, too. Meanwhile, we cut to Lucas in yet another unknown location. He had eaten mint chocolate ice cream again, and wasn't at home. We spent a couple hours trying to figure out how to proceed. We let him know of the situation at home concerning the escapees, and that he may be one of them. He may need to run away. Unfortunately, Lucas is rather dim and believed that the other Mighty told him, "The sky will fall on you and kill you if you run away." Of course he believed that. For the next hour or so, the Risen tried to figure out exactly where Lucas is. We learned that, for some odd reason, Michael wants to go to a carnival in the next town over, which is separated by a forest. How Michael even knew that this event was taking place so far away is unknown to us. Lucas did tell us this one story about how someone named Oscar threatened to kill him for stealing food or something like that. All it took was the mention of hot dog again. Anyway, the adventure didn't last long because they got picked up by the police and sent back home. Hello, Gail. Gail learns about the existence of this very document. Hi, Gail. Hope you're enjoying it. Also, it was confirmed that Madeline's face wasn't screwed up. She started wearing a mask that was like painted ceramic glass randomly one day. Michael's promise. We tried to understand why Michael would escape home for a carnival. But after speaking to a rather pensive and serious side of again, we backed off. We will trust their judgment on this. Only difference is that we knew what the promise was. It was to run away for good and fight the sky for Maddie. Lucas, being our precious sweet bean, took it literally and suggested he wear a hard hat to protect himself. That's funny. Michael, the editor. Michael decided to edit the summary doc as well. That is all. Now, if only he would stop screwing around with it, this is simultaneously the best and worst decision I have made thus far. The angels. Later on, after Michael went to sleep, Lucas came back on and saw this document too. After listening to him vent about not being the most important Mighty, Luna attempted to further fix his vocabulary and acquire a pet name from him. First Drywall, then Rice, and then Potato. Potato was okay for her since it was something he liked, but then he changed his mind and landed on Angel. Angels are a rather pretty name, but instead it was because angels are to be feared. Lucas also spoke of a rather nice scent from whom said it. He wasn't sure what it was, but it made his mouth water. On the other side, Michael was awake and using daggers. He discussed that some people called divulgers angels for some reason. Due to his blood, Michael knows about them but refuses to expand, seeing how it's nothing that needs to be addressed. Lastly, Luna brings up how some of the edits he made to this document, specifically how Locke reacted rather negatively to the event about her. Now I'm starting to wonder, with this blood disease, with the families and stuff, if the reason that some of their blood is pink is because there's some kind of serum or medicine or antibiotics actually in their blood.
Pepto. It's Pepto.
Pepto.
Gotta interrupt the man like that?
It's
Yes.
Pepto. That's all I can think of now. It's just they have Pepto blood, and that's how they stay alive.
That's how it is.
That's also why they have the disease.
Grant, I bet you have Pepto blood.
No.
I mean, Terminal has Pepto blood.
I do not.
Cole is drinking all of Terminal's blood before.
Oh my god, that's a lot of
remember
Pepto.
that.
Did it taste like Pepto?
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
just warm.
it
It
tastes like
It's
So it
just
is
warm.
Pepto.
It is.
tastes like warm Pepto
Oh,
because
that's
it's just
worse.
blood.
It's warm Pepto-Bismol that makes you trip balls like you just took acid.
King of Birds
That
says,
sounds awful. Where can I get some?
I don't know. Just, I don't even know, man.
And would you like some warm spiked Pepto Bismol?
Katie, good to see you. Good to see Free Spirit Katie. To the other patrons, Katie is the newest patron. She's going to be getting in on some really cool perks. I still need to make your picture. If you know, I told you about Ara being the name of the turkey vulture. If any of these guys on the shelf, Ara, Hootie, and Tress, any of these guys, I will make a custom picture for you, and I'll have a little secret hidden in it. So just let me know what you want in that picture for your Patreon thing.
Done.
And again, thank you all for showing up tonight. It's good to see everybody again. We're doing a live dive of PieWrites. It is a text-based game. It's like an actual ARG game, but it has a story to it as well. So, like I said, I'm still still figuring everything out, but I'm getting a really clear picture here of the type of world it's built with these modified beings and the computer kind of connecting dimensions and Pepto hot dogs. But it's really, really interesting so far. I'm enjoying it. I'm definitely gonna have to do some things.
Novak in the chat with turkey. That's not a joke that comes up until that's a joke that comes up like way later, but it is so good.
Oh, not the term key joke.
No, it's hilarious. Stop.
It's so good.
Turkey.
And can this video be shown on stream?
I don't know. Oh, it gets better. Oh, I have a feeling it's only gonna get better. It's pretty good already. Like, I'm into it. But anyway, so King of Birds says they had a dream about a cryptid monster. I really want to know what that cryptid monster looked like. I am very interested in dream
Probably
monsters.
looks like the Pepto-covered hot dog.
Covered hot dog. My night's going really well though. King of Birds. But yeah, for real, I want to know what you dreamed about, because I have this journal of dream monsters from other people, and I would love to add that to the dream journal. If you don't mind, of course. Don't want to be weird about it and be like, give me your freaking monster.
Your dreams, hand them over.
Hand over your dreams. No. Anyway, let's get back to it. But yeah, if you want to tell me about the monster, I am very interested. Okay, let's see. Alright, yeah, we are on Cedarsworth Carnival. After another new face appeared on Dadders. This time it was not a druggie, but still someone who injected themselves with divulgar blood. Oh, that sounds bad. They were told that DB was a miracle cure for any disease, but due to its normal short supply, he would have to give himself some transfusions to be able to produce it. Luna, knowing enough about it to know that it's a terrible idea, decides to confront and explain why. No matter what she said to him, it bounces off. Apparently, Michael sold him the blood on Saturday. Really, Michael? Hence why he was at the Cedarsworth Carnival that day. And this absolute idiot wanted all the profits, no matter the consequences. It was rather sad seeing someone so money hungry act this way. Even Even after telling him about divulgaric episodes and how those work with color complements, it did not dissuade him. We learned his favorite color is red, which means his favorite color would be green, the color of money. No matter, it was a futile argument, a waste of breath. Meanwhile, Michael is giggling it up with Liv as they share some of their favorite memes. After Alder wanted nothing else to do with the Risen, Luna headed over and finally understood more of Michael's character. One of his reasons to laugh is because he knows what's in store for life, and it's just hilarious to see what will become of them all. Luna shares a laugh with him, something she's been wanting to do for ages now. It was a nice bonding moment for the two of them. The Raven. This 127. That is...
Looks like the moon.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is the moon not right in this? The moon
The moon is definitely not right.
Oh, he did it.
That started in this. The moon isn't right started in this.
Really?
Wow.
Okay, so I need to remember this note for later on, apparently. This giant text block. The moon is seen from Earth. I will remember it. Now we will also copy this giant text block in case we need it. Okay. Charlie and the Mask. Risen woke up this morning to yet another cryptic message from Charlie, asking them to invert the colors on that image from a few days ago. Liv did so and increased the exposure a bit, and it seems like what we thought was Charlie's divulgar form was just her wearing a really cool mask. She was given this mask by someone in the house who is a scientist and also a fox. We attempt to decipher who it is, but nothing we thought of was correct. Charlie, in her usual manner, explained what the mask was. Hunt, rabbit, raven dog, weasel. Basically, the masks are of the first family parents. And she let us know that Charlie dons one of the rabbit, Raven, and Madeline wears the dog, Weasel. Seems like it was a blood researcher named Julian. She also works in biohazard research for some reason. And then, it happened again. Oh gosh, ask Hot Dog. It's always the hot dogs anymore. Yeah. After Luna loses her crap for a bit, Charlie informs her that she meant Oscar. Oh, oops. From there on out, Luna felt a bit bullied by Charlie, like she could hear her commanding her to ask him now over and over. Oscar didn't know anything, so there's a new person in the house. We wondered what she was like, but that didn't last for more than 5 minutes because we would soon learn a bit too much about Julian. Original version as found on Twitter, and inverted version. I'm going to look at those.
Always look at the images because they are so cool. Dingus's art is amazing.
It is so good.
Whoa. So that is the original, and then this one is the inverted. Oh wow, the inverted one looks very cool. I mean, they both look cool, but you can't really see what's going on in that one. Why can't I zoom out? I can only zoom in.
Dingus's art is so good.
Very good. Do they take commissions? No. Really though, I might need to get with them about something if they take commissions. Anyway. The Imposter, aka Meet Julian. All of a sudden, the Only Orange account started back up with its usual orange-colored attack on our TLs. Meanwhile, Gail was trying to test datters. Confused, we asked her what was going on. She was uncomfortably nice to Luna, so much that she was using pet names for her. Something that the Gail we knew, never did. Gail is the epitome of no chill. What is she doing? She asked for commands for datters, which is incredibly sus, seeing how she built the thing herself using basically scrap. How do you not know your own commands? An imposter was in control of datters. We thought Emery maybe took control for a bit, but nope. After verifying her as the black user using system users list, we knew that couldn't be it. Even Emery had no idea what was going on. So, what do? We went over to Only Orange and sent whoever was spamming us some yellow, our actual friend's favorite color, to try and snap her out of it. And sure enough, it was more than enough. Gale was experiencing a headache, but quickly regained control. After Luna verified that this person was indeed our friend, Gale knew exactly who took control. It was Julian, the blood and biohazard researcher of the Impure. Basically, thinks Gale, but the polar opposite in terms of personality. Never heard of that before. Truth be told, we didn't learn much about her, but confirmed that she is 1 year older than Madeline, 15, and that she is not a betrayer because the family has not caught her misbehaving. She's also a bit of a narcissist. Gale unfortunately had a bit of a headache, and decided to pause Dadders for the rest of the day while she recovers. And that's where we stand. Importer sus PNG that didn't come up. Lucas's. Is that the image we looked at or no?
Bogus.
I don't think so.
Is it?
I don't
Among Us.
believe so. Anyway, Lucas has returned to corrections. Lucas wakes up after sleeping all day. Luna decides to talk to him for a bit. She's worried about tomorrow because he has to perform corrections again after that double murder a few weeks ago. Oh, is that all? He asks Luna what to do. She responds with something like, it was probably a fluke. Just stick to the other mighty and you should be fine. Just don't enjoy this act like certain other mighties. He refuses to enjoy the act, which does not surprise anyone. Panicked at the concerto. You met yet another new face on Dadders. She was in a panic and needed some time to think. Her name is Frances. She's an opossum kangaroo hybrid outsider, and she's apparently able to use Dadders? What happened? What happened was she able to... Wait. What happened was that she was doing a piano concerto at her college, and then something happened. We don't know, but it was very bloody. And really, that's all we know. Oh, and that she was playing Pechabel's canon in D, according to the webcode provided to us at the time. Thanks, Dadders. I'm going to save that for later. Better not freaking start on me. Okay. The spelling module. Luna had been... Let me see if this continues here. No, it doesn't. Luna had been noticing that Dadders has been misspelling words very often without any kind of spelling module out-of-date errors being reported. One happened during the previous event, as Frances was describing her specific hybridization. She's a Virginia opossum, but Dadders reported it as Virginianian. Virginiania. Luna decides that maybe Dadders needs to be updated, since it's glitching out so much. After checking on its status with spelling module and confirming spelling module out of date still existed on the system, she's tempted to do spelling module update. Unfortunately, it turns into an error 507, which means there's not enough storage to complete the task. According to Michael, who's called Luna Clever, it takes a lot of storage to communicate with alternate worlds. He did not specify how much, though. Luna laments that Gale should have splurged for a larger SD card. Oh yeah. Lucas fears. Michael taunts Luke. Lucas fears. Michael taunts Luke's inability to handle corrections. Tells the Risen that he's not allowed to perform them anymore. Luke enters, freaks out about hurting others. The Risen drags Michael's sadistic butt out. He goes absolutely mental, and Dadders overheats briefly. Oscar tries to calm the situation and keep Dadders from overheating. Corrections aftermath. Luke is in heavy pain after his other persona committed murder. He's unable to move and realizes he's in the orange aftercare room. He knows he's weak, but no matter what, he must save Madeline from her fate. The next day, Gil confirms that Darren, the mighty overwatching the correction, was found dead. Blood on the concert floor. The news came out about what Frances witnessed. There was blood found on her piano, and all for freshly pulled teeth were in the bathroom with a set of pliers nearby them. The Risen are confused as to how this is connected. I was grossed out while playing this event out and wanted to puke. Oh, and somehow Dadders can be used to across other continents? Gail doesn't get it either. She doesn't understand how Dadders works, and she's the one that built the thing. I'll face myself. Shortly after that vomit-worthy update from our favorite, now toothless, marsupial, Lucas comes on using his phone to report that he is not dead. In fact, he's got his phone and is stuck with the orange aftercare room. Lucas came to terms with who he was, who Michael was, and his situation with the Mighty. After chatting with Luna for a bit, he decided to use the truth behind Madeline's broken state. To make a long story short, he didn't want to be away from her after their coming of age, so he tried to break her himself. Oh wow. So that they could be together. First they tried dislocating her shoulder, which the Mighty knew how to fix, and then he purposefully acted up so that they would have corrections with her, hopefully. After years of troublemaking, he finally found her room. Except, she had changed. The smile she sported was no longer there. She was cold. Nothing like the Madeline he knew. So he broke her legs on purpose, which caused him to become a betrayer. At some point, he grew into his other persona, Michael, after getting overtreated. So wait, how does Lucas, the betrayer, become a Mighty? Simple. The Mighty wanted to use him for both his disobedient Lucas and sadistic Michael sides. They figured that harnessing his power, they would have a force perfectly suited for corrections. And then we wonder why Michael wants them dead. Really makes you think, huh? The locked room escape. Gil ponders how Michael could have escaped corrections the day they were found at Cedarsworth Carnival. They should have been locked inside, yet he figured out how to get away from F3 to the outside without getting caught. We learned the blue room's doors are lockable from either side, but orange room's doors are only from outside, which makes sense seeing how it's supposed to be solitary confinement. Our logic was that Lucas was fronting. Michael forced himself up front from Razmetaz. Somehow, he escapes, which is still unknown, and finds himself at Cedarsworth Carnival ready to perform the transfusion for money. We just don't have any concrete evidence, and the how. We're gonna read the comments real quick. Yeah, this is fun. No problem. I've enjoyed reading this. Sounds like it's gonna get crazy. Okay, here's the dream.
Oh, it gets wacky.
It certainly is.
Super swag. Anyway.
People in the call are a bit quiet. Alright, give me a second.
How are we liking the story so far?
Story is really intense, really deep. I can tell that it's not just this surface value story. Like, after I read it all, I'm gonna have to go back and really connect the dots. Like, there's a lot going on. Like, it seriously, is this like its own world? Like its own, because it does. I mean, it seems like it might be connected to some other things, maybe, but it really seems like its own universe.
Not sure.
No, I have you all the way up.
Actually, would you know?
Hmm?
Would you know if PieWrites
Would I know what?
is PieWrites its own universe?
I'm pretty sure it is, yeah. I mean, it's shared with Locke's comic, Hectic.
I thought it was connected with REM sleep, though.
They're not in the same world, but they have crossed over several times.
Okay.
And Ree's Rapture and Relived Eternally, both of which are amazing series. And
Mhm.
Lost Helpney, and a few others. Those are only the ones that I know of.
I guess
I've played and relived eternally. Their GM is really cool, nice person.
Yeah, well, he's awesome.
I don't know, Killzone. I'll probably just go through the doc until the track ends. It's like a 3-hour track. After 3 hours of reading, I may not be able to keep going, but we'll see. I might go past that. Alright. Well, I'm not able to turn up you all in the chat. The chat's saying you guys are a little bit quiet. Would you be able to go into your Discord settings and turn yourself up? I think that's probably what it is, because you're up all the way, Aman.
I can try my very best.
There we go. I turned myself up plus 25%.
There you go.
That's a lot.
Yeah, you sound better. Aman too. Alright, everybody, just say something real quick and we'll see where the levels are.
Ah!
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a lot better, at least in my headset. So I have to turn it down just a little bit on mine. But they said it was quiet going out on the stream, so don't worry about me. You can just turn yourself up a little bit, and I'll deal.
Oh,
Oh man, this is gonna be a good one. The Raven explained. I am excited about this one. Okay. All right. Did y'all want to say anything before I get back into it?
They're covered hot dogs.
why?
Okay, moving on. Michael was bored in the corrections while waiting. Michael was born in corrections while waiting for judgment for Daryl's murder. So he had the notion of coming for our doc and screwing with all the colors and font sizes. That would be awful. It honestly peed Luna off since she would have to reformat everything. But also, he added in all the crap from above in the event 052. Numbers, base code, some ASCII art of the moon, and an image of the moon's phases. Also something about how it ties into the event 027. Charlie. Anyways, the brick of base 64 was easy. Oh, it was something to decode. Okay, well, it's going to do it for us. Translating it into base 64 code gives you Morse. Take the Morse, translate it, you get hexadecimal. Then the hexadecimal says, community after Oasis. Phase 2 of this puzzle took a heck of a lot longer, seeing how we were unsure how to use the numbers. We originally thought it was a A1Z26, which is A equals 1 of the 26, just the standard alphabet, then maybe Vingier, but after hours and hours of bashing our heads against the wall and bleeding, we figured it out. The numbers were shifted instructions. So, community after Oasis became Operation Blood Drive. What that is still unknown to us. After Michael refused to elaborate further and Gil had no idea, it might have something to do with Francis's actions at her concerto. However, we just don't know yet. So that has something to do with Raven then. Michael Moore busts loose. Charlie is scared of the night, but is confused as to why she hasn't transformed yet. She hears footsteps outside and sees lights in their hands. It was Michael who left his phone with her before breaking up. Apparently, the light is able to keep her from undergoing an episode. Michael busts through the orange room door, escaped through the F3 corridor while no one was around, went up to the attic to give the phone to her, then left home towards Cedarsworth Carnival in order to collect his payment from Adler. Unfortunately for Charlie, he never charged the battery before leaving, so she only had a little bit of light left. She's probably in F3 right now. Freaking pop up. Lucas has returned to the carnival. Lucas wakes up near Cedarsworth Carnival again. He had some mint chocolate ice cream and woke up with a tourniquet in his arm and $800 in his pocket. That was an expensive transfusion. Well, I mean, not really, but that was a ordeal there. Arg, unwrites your pie. Pie finally notices the crap posting channel's new name that I chose. They showed their disdain for the name in the most hilarious way possible. I know this is rather off topic for now, but it comes up in game very soon. Also note the color of Pie's name. It comes up in event 69. Nice. Whoa. Yep, that orangey yellow. Triggered. 67. Creepy masked dude. Some new user on PieWrites Twitter comes in sporting a freaky mask and asks if we have the words. Follow this tip with a YouTube link to a 10-hour of dial-up internet sounds and then that 10th dimensional video from a while back. They say something about a year while freaking both myself and Habit out. An unknown system error pops up. Then silence. Oh wow, 1 year later, disconnect of 5. Shortly after Oscar comes back, saying something about entry 360. Turns out we endured a time skip for 1 whole year somehow. Our friends tried to entry 360 and then you skip for a year. That's gotta be connected somehow. Our friends tried to contact us for a year straight, but no matter what, we never responded. It tore Gail up so hard that she decided to lose all hope and become fully corrected. Charlie popped up on Lucas's Twitter and reported something shocking happened, but in her usual emoji style. Meanwhile, Gail is on Only Orange once again. but instead of filling our TLs with the same ghastly orange images, it's a single orange emoji. No matter what yellow things myself or Habit would throw at her, it didn't faze her whatsoever. But then, an error code popped up on Dadders. Error 507. Disconnecting. Dadders has never done that before. It seems like we've been forced into yet another disconnect. Welcome to Disconnect 5.
Grant,
Yes?
I read number 69 just for laughs.
Do it.
Okay, so Grant, I also want to preface that the habit in this is not the habit that was mentioned in Recollect.
I was gonna ask
It's
that.
a player.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's not that habit. It's a player, and it's also the person who plays Spider in REM sleep.
Oh, cool. Alright.
Right. 69, the Pies of Wrath. Before everything began, the mods in Vehemence noticed PieWrites left the server and Locke did not know anything about it. Later that evening, the Risen spied a crap ton of images spewing out of PieWrites. Humans of all genders and races. Some that look kinda sus. We're all AI-generated humans via thepersondoesnotexist.com. Someone without a prefix cackled and revealed themselves to be Pie. Everyone we had spoken to over the past 6 weeks were simulations. That is to say, not real. Also real. We never once spoke to the real family, but all of our actions affected the real family. Divulgar blood, henceforth referred to as Pi, is able to create perfect simulations from anyone who interacted with Pi. That is to say, anyone who's Divulgaric blood in them, who had Divulgaric blood in them, or anyone who interacted telepathy with Dadders. Luna did something she's very uncomfortable doing during roleplay heavy ARGs and broke character. And Pi, what the hell is happening? She knew all along that this was an ARG, and that everyone we've spoken to on the PieWrites account was fictional characters. They all felt so real. No, they're fictional counterparts to real people in an alternate universe that's all furry. Offense lock. It's all very confusing. Shortly after, Pi tweets out something that freaks Luna out. I'll unwrite my own Pi. Luna finally understood. This was all her fault. Triggered Pi with a stupid shit post that had broken. Event 66 for details.
Okay. Saving Private Gale. These titles. Pi asked Luna to prove to Gale that she wasn't a Divulgar somehow. After trying for about 15 minutes, Gale on a new account, Gale Hickory, popped up to tell us that we had never spoken before, and that the Gale we knew, who had zero chill, was just a simulation. We also never used the real Dadders, but instead a carbon copy created by the blood. But she understood our plight and agreed to go on this journey with us. Holy crap, that was massive. Alright, Lucas's adventure, before that becomes a joke. After the whole mess that was last night, Lucas woke up to the sounds of a thunderstorm rolling in, and tries his best to get around town safely. Honestly, not much happened for most of his adventure, other than classic Lucas-type stuff concerning his lack of knowledge of basic living skills, getting confused at a path that looped around. He went to a bakery and figured out how the strange scent he got off of an outsider was coffee. Afterwards, he went to another eatery and got recognized by one of the staff members who told him to stay there while they went inside and called the phone. They're calling the police. Seems like the family put out a bounty for Lucas while he escaped. He successfully escaped with Risen's help and found himself a nice, comfortable place to take a nap. Oh, Lucas got a gun! Great! Later that evening, Lucas wakes up after walking to another city with huge skyscrapers. He notices a very heavy black object in his pocket and tries to describe it to Luna, who slowly gets frustrated with his lack of understanding. Also something about a bee, because he has a very distinct tendency to get distracted, which only got Luna more annoyed. Later, a man is found near a wall in an empty alleyway. Because we didn't know what the heck he had, we asked Lucas to ask this person in tattered clothes for assistance. That's a bad idea. Only problem was that he wasn't moving, or speaking, or breathing. He also had a bit of blood on his shirt and a hole too. shot. With the gun Lucas had. We knew Lucas could not have done this, so we quickly summoned Michael, who after about 15 or so minutes of cackling straight, admitted his crime. He murdered this unknown person, had traded the $800 in his pocket for the gun, shot him to death, then stole the money back. No shame, no sorrow. Our friend Michael was a murderer. Wow. Charlie doesn't remember. Next morning, Charlie speaks to us. Not much happens aside from the confrontation that she never got the charger for her phone, and something about how she doesn't remember any kind of event, or something really shocking happened. Weird. Oscar and Arlington. We speak to Oscar about various topics and bring up the chaos that ensued the previous night. He learns that Michael had a gun and potentially shot up some homeless dude. We ask him about the potential whereabouts to his location, and he believes it was a big city called Arlington. No relation to the one in Texas or Virginia. The Mighty and the Michael. The Mighty announces... I read that as the Mighty Michael, but anyway. The Mighty announces Michael was found and was en route home. The Risen are apathetic to his upcoming stay in corrections, especially after all the crap that happened the previous night. Also, a really awesome image was uploaded to the account, number 27. We didn't know what this was until a little later on. We theorized it was an image of Madeline at the time due to the hot dog... Oh, gosh. No, not to the hot dog, to the dog-like. I'm in hot dog mode now. Due to the dog-like features of the mask.
Can't escape the hot dog.
I can't escape it. The dog-like features on the mask, and the cute little tiara on it too. Good grief. Simple pie. So every time I see pie, it's just blood. Simply blood. Locke surprises us with a new dog, with even more compact information for new Risen to read. It's just the game mechanics necessary to start playing. She is truly the best girl, and also the best divulgar human. Also, the Risen enjoy their time playing around with TOS violations. It was just some fun for a bit. Charlie breaks her silence. A new character pops in on Dadders, speaking in plain English. The Risen was confused, seeing how many characters we have already, how there are still more. But they get annoyed and spill the beans. God, it's like I have to spell it out for you, Charlie. Cherry, hat, apple, rat, lizard, iguana, egg. Charlie. Wait, Charlie doesn't speak
no
plain
eggs. Oh no.
Uh-oh. Homeless
Not the
eggs.
egg.
Okay, eggs come up way later. He'll see.
Okay.
Oh
Actually, I
no,
don't know if
eggs!
Apparently.
I don't know if they're in Omnipie yet. I don't know if they're in Omnipie yet, but they come up. They come up.
gosh.
You'll see.
They come up, Grant.
Don't worry.
No, I'm nervous. Okay.
Please, I'm just a homeless egg.
Oh no. Okay. Wait, Charlie doesn't speak plain English though. So of course we thought it was Julian again, our charismatic sus imposter. But nope, it's actually Charlie somehow. She was as shocked as we were that her communications were coming through as plain English. She also confirmed that what we were talking about earlier. She was basically kidnapped and blindfolded. Also, she felt a needle in her arm, but it was just sitting there, menacingly. A second one was placed in her other arm, and then the lights were completely off. Pitch black, as it were. Perfect for a certain divulgaric form of hers to manifest. I can extract something while she's in that form. Charlie versus Mama. Shortly after midnight, we found Mama speaking in her usual superscript font. But it was weird because it seemed like Charlie had some control over it. But then kept fighting it. And then she was gone. It was legitimately dark in the room she was in, and she was conquering her divulgaric form. We had no idea how she pulled this off, but maybe it had to do with a transfusion? Even so, we had another huge breakthrough. Charlie isn't 361 years old. Charlie can't even count that high. Seeing how numbers higher than 9 are a foreign concept. No. Charlie is 361, or 3 sixes one time. So, all this time, we speculated that she would be 361 when there is evidence that no one lives past 120. But instead, she's 18. They just don't know the number for it. Unfortunately, This was the end of the conversation, seeing how she is incredibly tired and weak from this transfusion. So we will let her go to bed. Charlie wakes up. Charlie wakes up the next morning, back in the attic. She's happy to be able to communicate in plain English again. She explains why she loves the attic so much. It has a skylight, and during the night, it's super sunny in there, and super bright. Wait, during the day, I said during the night. Which helps her steer off of the Devolgaric episodes. She is technically able to roam wherever she wishes, but prefers to stay in the attic due to the lights. In the evening, she commonly hangs out in the stairwell, since it's pretty well lit there. The Mighty seem to be back to normal, and acting like absolutely nothing happened the day before. Odd. Michael leaves corrections. Later on in the afternoon, Michael reports his time in corrections was up, but he decided to switch to Lucas so he could sleep through them and let his other self take the full brunt of the punishment. Luna commented that he wasn't nearly man enough to take his own punishments, so instead he switches to his other side, to the front instead, like an absolute wuss he is. He also tells us a bit of how he made it home. He just admitted his crime to the police, and it was done. Back in the family's care. How the heck does that work? He literally committed murder and got away scot-free somehow. Sounds to me like the family's in control of everything. Someone without a prefix props up on datters. To this date, only 2 people have ever done that. Our sus imposter Julian and Pi Gale, aka not the Gale Hickory Gale, whom I'm calling Real Gale, but the one on the PieWrites account. I decided to play a bit of hardball in case it was Julian, and asked Real Gale if anyone was near the hub. According to her, absolutely nobody goes near it, since it's near a colder place in the basement. This person reveals himself to be Pi, meaning we have a third user capable of speaking, minus prefix. They said they would be losing Michael soon, and that we would soon know what that meant. We didn't know it at the time, but that prediction was absolutely correct. We'll find out how correct it was tomorrow, but on the bright side, we had potentially one more day with him. Lucas gets kidnapped. Lucas finds himself blindfolded and bound by some weird coffee-scented freaks. He's able to fight them off due to Michael's summoning and insane cackling. The blindfold is rather easy to remove, but the blinds, which are basically made of duct tape, proves to be much more difficult. He also reports feeling a little more woozy than normal due to whatever they injected him with. He hobbles his way to the stairwell, where Charlie is chilling, and gets her to remove the duct tape, but for a price. The cell phone charger for his phone, for his freedom. He complies and gets released. Today was the birth of a new Michael, one who was relaxed. Still, had the same laugh, but was compliant and willing to listen to the Risen and be chill. It was a nice sight of him, that we'd never experienced before. Luna the Uncleaver. Pi thanks us for saving Michael, but whines that we let him lose Charlie. They let us know that image 27, which I said was of Madeline, was actually of Mama. Pi asks if we found their song, which was hidden in the 27th image. It was Alien Boy by Oliver Tree. Again, gonna save that to the watch later thing. Just copy the link. Paste it. Alright, that'll work. They said something about the truth about Pamela, the non-lacquer space shark who holds the cosmic boots, from April 1st. Pi pulls out some numbers. 125 to 135, to which Luna thinks it means 125 to 135 of the song. She was called Uncleaver and was told to count the words. Talk a lot of crap so you won't believe me. At this point, Luna knew that things would be much harder from this point forward. She knew this was going to turn to a game of psychology and outwitting. This game can honestly be painful at points, but it's really, really fun. Michael thanks the Risen. Michael thanks the Risen for helping him out back there. We learn that he wants to go out once again at night, but has no idea where. The Risen tease him for his acute lack of planning, which is very uncharacteristic of Michael. All he knows is that earning some cash is very important to his motives. Oh, man. Darren Moore and the Mighty Investigation. Michael announces to Risen that he has left home once again for money and chaos. Luna brings up scents again, specifically the one of coffee. He tells me about the faint coffee scent he noticed during his kidnapping. We tell him about the smell in F3, and Will hated. Thinking about coffee wasn't one he liked back then. He offers to go back to the house to look around. We let him make the choice, and he decides to head back home. Around this time, Real Gale let me know that the weird smell Will smelled back then was Devilgar blood, not coffee. Michael checks behind all the paintings, but doesn't notice any weird passages or anything else. He offers to search for more rooms for me. After giving us a list of choices, we look in the closets. Not much was found. Lots of blankets, a single broom, cans of white paint, a bunch of papers and boxes, Darren's personal closet, and old paintings. For future references, here is the list of items in each closet. Closet 1, a single broom. Closet 2, lots of blankets. Closet 3, Darren's personal closet, which is apparently horrible. Closet 4, cans of white paint that definitely don't come up again. Closet 5, even more blankets. Apparently it's easier to just buy blankets instead of a new heating system. Closet 6, empty. Closet 7, old research papers and cardboard boxes. Closet 8, old paintings of previous Mighty. Afterwards, I let Michael choose our next location. He decides to go to the Mighty's library on floor 2 to see what Darren wrote. We found 4 of his books. Woman with Red Eyes, A Mighty Heart, The Saints of Their Souls, and Sweet Tangerine. The first 2, Woman and Tangerine, were basically the same. More proof that Darren wants to do things with women, like hand-holding, and not much more. At least it doesn't seem to hold much more value than that. The third one, A Mighty Heart, is much more interesting. It reads a lot more like instructions than anything else. It was also written the night before his death, whereas the others were much older. The poem. I take a turn from my ways, a quick step away from old days. Pivot, the trace left by my race, to grow a rose and never pick it, nor move it to a vase. To never act on those ways, the mightiest state. The roses I waste in my days never compare to the fields I've never walked. To walk them would be waste of myself. To walk on the path and never waste a single day. Maiden of orange eyes. Quick slash of bloody lies. Lend me your hand. It follows as read out by Michael. The end part is a link to Budapest by George Ezra with lyrics. Okay.
That song is so good.
Also adding that to the list. Need to make sure this one's in there so it doesn't just lose it. I fell. Told you to wait. Okay. A treasure chest. Interesting. Afterwards, we left up to Michael to make our next play. Either try and decipher what the poem was, or continue and read the final one for some more laughs. He then said something none of us expected. You can't decide, Maddie. Whatever floats your boat. Excuse me? I'm not Maddie. She brings it up to Michael, reminding him of her identity as Luna from The Risen. Michael must have been beat, red eggplant purple, when he realized his mistake, and he excused himself to bed. As Luna is in bed, one last surprise is waiting for her. Real Gale makes it known that she has heard very loud screams from upstairs. The Mighty will likely announce what happens tomorrow. Oh. The experiment. Lucas is kidnapped once again, but this time with a thinner blindfold, and poked with yet another needle. He is restrained, and put on a table. Different colored lights are shown on him, starting at purple, and back to pink. He didn't know what was happening, but we had a feeling that maybe they were trying to learn how he reacts to different colors. They leave, seeing how nothing seemed to work, and summon Michael, using his favorite, dark pink. He announces that he's been strapped to the table, he legitimately cannot move, and that he's scared. Michael is scared. The scientists come back in with Lucas fronting. Apparently, they were injecting him with his design to calm him down, which makes it difficult for Michael to last up front very well. And the colors have changed. Dim colors. So we decide that when dim pink is being shown, we will send an overexposure of mint green to him so Michael cannot be released. And it worked. We timed our drop perfectly. We knew that we were an unstoppable force to be reckoned with, but it seems like we're not the only ones who recognize that. During the couple hours break we had, We chatted about the state he's in. It was a straitjacket that these idiots had put him in and secured to a table by straps. They're torturing him. Unforgivable. Also, we learned just how stunted Luke's knowledge on things was. He thought a straitjacket was for gay people who want to help them become straight, because it's a straitjacket. Normally, I would laugh at that pun, but not a fan.
Felt that.
That's awful. Anyway, after that awkward topic came up, the scientist returned with a new, even more brutal method of torture. They plugged some earbuds on him and played a very specific sound. Be aware that this sound really sucks. It's basically a silent sine wave for 10 hours straight. It hurt my ears to listen to it for a couple seconds. Imagine having to listen to this for over an hour. And then, they tried the dim colors again. Luna had the terrible idea of testing something randomly on him. She sent him the same music they had been listening to during this, hoping it would have drowned out the awful sound. But ultimately, it just made everything worse. He couldn't focus on the colors enough, and sadly, we missed our timing. Michael was summoned, and everything was ruined. They got whatever information they wanted, with very little fight from us. I wonder what the sound is. It's probably going to be bad, but I'm going to do it.
It's a high-pitched frequency.
Yes. So just be careful.
I've got it way down, so...
Hours of annoying sound.
Ah, nope. Done with that. That's enough. Yeah, that could not imagine an hour of that.
I could listen to that. I'd have a splitting headache, but I could.
Well,
I
good for you.
can fall asleep to that.
Really?
Yeah. Fuck, I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna fall asleep to that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Today.
No, you're not.
Hey,
Yeah, I am, Roxy.
Sorry about the sound, everyone. I didn't want to have it all the way through. I just did a few seconds, so... If you're here now and you're hearing
Well, I'm
me,
safe.
you're not going to hear it again. Alright. The transfusion. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hopefully it's not on Michael.
Oh, I
'cause
love blood.
Right.
That's such a good song.
What, I love blood? Or the transfusion? Or the sound? What are you talking about?
There's a song that's the next song. That's this song.
Okay. Oh, Blood by My Chemical Romance? Okay.
Yeah, we're just emo like that.
The scientists return with yet another needle for Lucas, and also light green light, which helps him calm down. Lucas is no longer blindfolded, no longer in a straitjacket. He is still bound to the table, but notices a couple things while lucid. There was another fox girl in the same room, but she refused to say anything. There were also some papers that had very concerning things on them. First off was his full name, and light green for favorite color. That's easy enough. Next, the title of the document was Operation Blood Drive. Something about using the collection of clean blood and Code Rabbit for the cure. The Risen are understandably concerned about this and summoned Michael, hoping he would know something about it. Unfortunately, he's weak, scared, not sure how much more time he has left. Pi takes his place and bashes the Risen, specifically Luna, for ruining his plan to eradicate the mighty. Luna apologizes, but no matter what she says, Pi refused to accept. I know I put myself in third person 99% of the time in this doc, but I do want to say that I legitimately felt terrible for my decisions. I knew that Michael was probably dead, and I wanted to find a way to make it up to Pi. Pi reminds us that about the very beginning of the game, a link to Blood by My Chemical Romance was sent. Luna, wanting to be a hero, went in for the attack. When Pi hints that his plan is foolproof, Luna exposes him. She said if Pi's plan is foolproof, then he'll have no qualms answering her questions. Or he'll keep silent, which tells us that his plan is basically Swiss cheese, full of hoes. Flaws. He kept silent. that meme.
Always have a plan like cheese.
Right. Cheese is the best.
What, like tasty and stretchy?
Like tasty,
Yes.
stretchy, melts easily, is good on pretty much anything, plans.
It's the
You
best.
could- Got holes.
Oh my.
I mean, anything as a whole if you use a drill.
Okay.
I didn't know where that was gonna go for a second, but I'm glad that's what you said.
Yeah, I was scared.
I thought you were gonna say if you use it correctly. I was like, hello?
Yeah, no. Drill.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Moving on.
The death of Michael Moore. Sadly, Michael's time was up. With one last heh, Lucas fell asleep with a red blood hose in his other arm. Thus ends the life of a good friend. A really good ally. Rest easy. And, like I said, I try to keep myself in the third person during these summaries, but I must admit that I cried after this. I never realized how close I'd gotten with Michael, so seeing him perish like that was really hard for me. I still cry thinking about it, even if there are hints that he is still in Lucas. The day after, Charlie woke up to hear someone in the closet on floor 3. She's in the empty closet 6 we investigated a couple nights prior. We found a cute sleeping fox on the ground, covered with a blanket. Mind you, she was speaking in emoji, as per usual, but then she swapped to plain English. Not sure how this works, and frankly, I don't think we'll learn that for a while. I adore how sassy Charlie is. She's a fun character. Charlie reported that she didn't have an episode the previous night despite not having the phone near her or any kind of lights. That's confusing. She laments that even with her blood being clean again, that she's basically stuck with us for life. Of course, it could be for worse. You could be mama for life, and she quickly rescinds her gripes. Charlie decides in order to wake him up, she'll just flick him on the nose, then goes to get breakfast. It won't be long before we hear the new Lucas Moore. The new Lucas Moore. Lucas wakes up. We talk to him. He's normal now. Not even dark pink affects him anymore. He's got the giggle, though, which was very nice to hear. We explained what happened. It was a very emotional day for me. The unknown betrayer. We noticed the new face was posting an orange on Datters, going full aggro. We cast blue on this dude to get his butt out of trance. We thought it was Will at first, seeing how he wasn't smiling, but no. It was someone completely new. A pure betrayer with silver bits of fur amongst his gray coat. He could not remember his name due to the conking his head during correction in the blue room. What he does remember, however, is his favorite color. Red. So while he's relaxing in the orange room, we decide to send him green, just to see if he would react. Maybe he was Adler. Maybe he was Adler, seeing how he had DB in him, too, and his hybrid pattern was similar to that of this person's. Green does not do anything we wanted, though. He goes absolutely insane with every single image we sent, and was clearly not enjoying it. The Mighty moved him to another blank room, this one with 2 chairs. The Mighty asked this betrayer for his name, to which he didn't know. They seemed pleased, and said he was confirmed a betrayer, and he would be moved down to the basement with the other pure brokens, so he can receive treatment for his broken legs. Meet Riley, Darren's return. We're in something new after this. This is the last piece of whatever we're doing. Another new face pops up on Datters. It's Riley, the 10-year-old pure broken, who also has screwed up legs due to afflictions. They're confused seeing how the new person is really, really pretty and is easily recognized as a Mighty by BSMT's denizens. Apparently, the person who joined them was Darren somehow, who didn't die a few days prior. Great. The simp is back. Oh well. No matter. Let's find out some more about Riley finally. She's a 10-year-old, at least according to Gail. She counted her age with among the treatments she received. 2 treatments, 5 years apart, 10 years old. She drew a really cute image of Gail for Gail Hickory. The Risen congratulated her on a job well done. She was happy to hear it. Riley is a gamer, specifically for phone games. She loves playing Subway Surfer while Harper loves to look on Shooty Skies, both of which exist in our world too. The Risen and her bond over video games for a bit, but afterward getting into a small discussion on how the Mighty are handling treatment. In her words, which comes from Gail, they're idiots playing with fire while blindfolded and drenched in gasoline. Classic Gail. Never chill. And now we are on, I guess this would be chapter 2, When Worlds Collide.
Woo!
I'm assuming.
Maybe.
We've gotten this far. Maybe there is hope.
Yeah, we're moving pretty quick. We're like, what, almost a 10th? This story's huge. Like I said, this will probably be a multi-parter. judging on how far we've went, let's see. This music I've kind of been using to time everything. We're at 1 hour and 55 minutes. I say that we, mean-
26,
I'm gonna put it back just a little bit, like 150, and that will give us another 40 minutes. We'll read for another 40 minutes, and if it hasn't switched to the characters, I think we'll just go ahead and, wherever we're at, we'll put a pin in it for now. Unless you all want to read for a little bit, because I'm pretty sure in 40 minutes my throat's gonna be toast, so... I don't know, maybe not. I'm actually doing pretty well. Like, I'm not really sore or anything, but I will need to get a drink here in a little bit.
Yeah, we can read for you whatever you need.
Alright.
Yeah.
Well, I'll go ahead and continue now, though, before that 40 minutes is up. Alright. Meanwhile, over in the crow's nest, a new ARG appears. Remind Oliver. There's a lot to this. The story of a boy named Oliver who believes he's stuck in an ARG. He cannot remember anything about him except his name and that he was supposed to be in a hospital. I know this sounds random, but trust me, it becomes incredibly important in just a couple days. Lucas remembers Darren. Lucas is up late one night with the giggles and talks to Risen about things he remembers while being Michael. He explained that one thing he knew wasn't necessarily a bad guy, but just like being the life of the party. But then he remembers the killing, using the gun to murder and steal money from random people while out. He remembers cackling and flipping everyone the middle finger, though confused as to the means of such an action. We explained it as a very rude and vulgar gesture, meaning, screw you, but thankfully, he knows what that means. One less discussion about the facts of life for us. In fact, he had some time to learn about it, but he didn't know social cues very well, and asked the mighty a bunch of probably incredibly uncomfortable questions that forbade Lucas from asking any more. Afterwards, he asked about Maddie, but we didn't know where she was, as if we ever did. We got on the topic about Darren's sudden revival, and reveals he is the reason why his legs are broken. Apparently, that comment about Maddie he made got him thinking, and decided to punish Darren for some unknown reason. Unfortunately, he was having a hard time keeping his facts straight, and called it quits shortly after. Gail's lack of sass. We speak to Gail, commenting on her rather boring demeanor on Discord. Lucas, being the arbiter of calm and rational behavior, decides to snitch on us and tell her directly. Of course, this offends her, and she reveals that her sass from before was from Pi, saying everything she thinks. She has nothing to say if it's already been said, after all. Completely respectable. But it's funny to let it out, you know? Lucas's insecurity. Also, gun! The Risen discussed the new Lucas in the Discord and completely forget he's able to see our chats. This made him very insecure, and worried that he's not able to fulfill what Michael left us. We assure Lucas that he's his own person, and doesn't have to try to be something he's not for us. After a very awkward conversation about visualizing inappropriate things involving Pi, Lucas let us know that he never threw the gun away. He brought it home and stashed it in Closet 8, with all the paintings for some reason. He was also the reason for the chaos the night before. After reading through the books, he realized that a lot of Madeline's problems stemmed from the mighty, so he decided to take matters in his own paws. Luna decided that she would personally protect Lucas from any consequences that would be coming for him as a result of multiple homicides. Darren remembers himself. We spoke to Oscar since he asked us if we had any plans for the day. We didn't know, so Oscar gave us the idea that telling Darren who he is may help him remember. So we did. We told him his name, he remembered, and we let him be. Follow up with Frances. Risen chose to follow up with Frances, hoping to hear why she pulled all her teeth out like that. Yeah, I was wondering that as well. She refused to explain, saying that buckled under pressure, right? Finding Charlie. We get a message encoded in Rot 19. Something is wrong. Mama somehow popped up on Dadders, even despite Charlie getting her blood swapped out, and was confused as to why she wasn't awake when it was black. Turns out Charlie ran into Closet 5 with her mask on for some reason. Mama hates light, so she begged and cried for someone to take the mask off of her. She said something about 5, which clearly meant that the 5th closet on floor 3 with all the white paint. We had Lucas zip over there, stripped the mask off of her face, and guided her back to the stairwell. Easy. Number 100, opting in. While we were dealing with Charlie, a notification popped up on Dadders asking, opt in, yes or no? Both Luna and Habit pressed yes. and got into a private exchange with Pie himself. Pie made them both a deal. Keep the contents of our conversations private. Do not let any of the helpers know you made these deals, and Lucas will stay safe. He won't get hurt. He won't get branded with murder. We both accepted, though privately, we kept this whole thing a secret, except for the part where me and Habit knew each other pretty well, and damned each other despite Pie's instructions. We had a mutual friendship with each other. We're not going to snitch. We just hope no one else was in cahoots. Darren finds Namu. Is this the Namu who is your adopted daughter, Roxy?
Yes.
It is the same Namu. Alright, so
Oh
you
my
Yes, it
God.
is.
Crazy.
From Relive Eternally, which is Lily's game.
Nice.
We sang
Yeah.
happy birthday, or did I miss that part?
Okay, so Lost Need Help said, joke's on us, this is all chapter 1. I mean,
Oh no.
I could see that, because I know this is like 1,000 and something page, entries. But, I mean, we could be, technically, still in chapter 1.
So many pages. I hope it's not like that book that's only one sentence. I don't know. My dad told me about it. No idea what it's called.
Oh, good grief.
It's like
Oh,
like
I know what you're
1,000
talking about,
pages.
yeah. Oh, wait a minute. I know the title, give me a second.
The book nerds are discussing.
You know what? You know what? Because of that, I'm just gonna drop it. Even though I'm pretty sure I know the name of that one.
Aw.
Because I have that one. I don't have it with me, but I have that book. And it's freaking hilarious.
Then I'll look it up for you, Gran.
Okay. Alright, Darren, while you're doing that, Darren finds Namu. Okay. Later on, Darren contacts Risen to let them know he's been thinking it over ever since. He's no longer a man of sinful pleasure, but rather one of religion. He announces that he has rid himself of his previous ways and found a goddess to worship, Namu, the Sumerian goddess of creation. Honestly, it's very nice. He also mentioned something about his closet in floor 3, and absolutely no one should take a peek in there because it is something he is very ashamed of and doesn't want it to hurt anyone else. That sounds odd. We agreed not to look in there. Darren's super nice to us now. All he needed was someone to believe in, and also meditation. Before the curtain closed for the night, a tweet came out from nowhere stating, "It's calling." Very ominous, but we didn't know what to make of it. You found that title yet?
Yeah. Ux Newburyport by Lucy Ellman.
That's something else. I was thinking something else. I know another book that's all one sentence, but this one was
Yeah,
written
it's
by a man who's insane.
934.
Holy crap. And it's all one sentence.
Yeah. You must have had a lot of fun with that.
That's ridiculous. Holy crap. Okay, that's okay, I need that book now too. I have another one though that was written by an insane man. I can't think of the title of it though. I thought it had it, but anyway, it was like 200 and something pages and it was all one sentence, and it's just the most random crap you'll ever hear in your life. Talking about aliens and futons and lemon squares all in the same sentence. So I'll find that one, and we'll have a reading day on that one. That'll be a lot of fun.
Yay.
But yeah, all right. Back to this. Charlie is colorblind. That's new. We woke up the next morning to Charlie saying hello. Very pleasant, though we had to be a bit direct. We asked if she had ever seen a grand piano while living there. She saw one on floor 2. We asked if it was gold, and for the next 20 minutes we struggled to decipher that she was colorblind and could only see white and black. That sucks.
That's cool.
I mean, it's kind of cool, but it's kind of sad that she's never seen color.
Yeah.
Treasure hunt preparations. With the knowledge of where the piano is, we message Oscar and let him know we finally have plans for the evening. We want to go treasure hunting. We need someone we could trust to go through the second floor hallways and retrieve the treasure without getting caught. Oscar was fine with it, but we needed to have everything prepared, and so we did. We knew where it was. The piano was in floor 2 library. There was one guard who patrols that area, aka Mama. We had Lucas give the phone to her, so there would be less of a chance she would pop up. And we had a perfect time to do it, at night, when we could take our time with the task. Everything was planned well. Or at least we thought it was. Lucas's re-evaluation. After we were done with Oscar with timing planned, we talked to Lucas. He told us he was going to re-evaluate and was very uncomfortable with the prospect. We asked him, why can't he just say no? But apparently no one has ever said no to this proposition. We told him we would be by his side during the re-evaluation, so just trust us. The reevaluation comes up. He goes with the Mighty into a blank room, and they ask him the question, do you want to be a Mighty? And Luke, standing his ground, replied, no. And then silence. About 15 minutes later, he wakes up. He got knocked out cold, and was found in correction. Oh, the moon isn't right. This is...
There it is.
Yep.
This is the first one.
Oh, and the moon isn't right a couple of times?
Mhm.
I remember Dingus planning. It was so good. Oh.
It's so much fun.
Alright, I'm going to just put a pin in what I already know about this and go into this fresh, because I'm probably going to mess myself up. I'm probably thinking about a very later the moon isn't right, or something completely unrelated. Alright. Pi comes into Dadders and says, is this something completely different? What I'm thinking of? Because when I saw it was like a couple months ago.
This is the first one.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the first
Okay.
one from fucking April.
Alright. Okay, let's see what this is all about. Pi comes into Dadders and says a phrase. The moon isn't right. Wait, what? How is that, though? Is it a full moon? Sure, and apparently that makes Mama a bit stronger, but it should be alright. No. This is different. It's called a... the blood moons and the pink supermoons and stuff. Okay. It's called a pink supermoon, and apparently this is a once-in-a-lifetime lunar event. Makes a huge difference. But we wouldn't know the horrors this distinction would make until just a little later. All we knew at this point is that we didn't account for something in this plan we made. It should be okay though, right? Probably not. The treasure hunt. We let Oscar know that everything is set, except for the fact that we didn't take the supermoon into consideration. He was still raring to go regardless. Only one slight issue. Charlie is not in the attic. Nor is the phone turned on. Mama is patrolling floor 2, and we get to deal with her head on. Okay, that's annoying, but fine. Bring it. We do the normal ping so we can have an audience, and kneel down into floor 2. Well, everything was going well. We made it to floor 2. Things are smooth. A Remind Oliver from Event 92 pops up kind of randomly, though, asking if someone broke something. What? No matter. Let's keep going. It's nothing. But we know out of game what this could be. A crossover. 2 games having a bit of a giggle and interaction with each other. Interesting. But we need to focus on guiding Oscar safely. And then, Mama appeared. Or at least that wonderfully awful cracking sound. We knew we needed to hide, but also keep moving forward. I felt some serious sensory overload around this time, but had to push on. Oscar came to a crossroads, and her crackling coming from 2 routes. So we had him go down the other one, nothing but the kitchen. We told him to go down a different route, and he easily finds a library. Once in the library, we go right to work. He found a painting with a lot of weird buildings, but is this really what Darren wanted us to find? I went into my DMs and chatted with Pi about what exactly we needed to acquire, but then a very telling reply came up. The moon isn't right. Afterwards, we found a key. Now that sounds like a treasure. We just needed a keyhole, and that's good game, except it wasn't that easy, for the real event would take place over the next few hours. Uh-oh. Blood moon attack like in Terraria.
This was so much fun.
Alright, moon isn't right. Basically part 2. The one time a pink supermoon freaked us all out. Alright. Oh! Did anybody have Pi? I don't remember. No. I don't think anybody had Pi, did they? To read the Pi lines? No? Okay. The moon isn't right. On several accounts. 6 confirmed and counting. They've all been here. Every game. What? What the heck does that mean? 6 what? Oh my god, the statuses. Lock, the moon isn't right. I remember when I did that. I was in on this. Was I attacking people in this world? Okay. 6 people had... That is the Namu that is on Twitter. Okay, anyway. 6 people had this custom status that evening. Locke, Othi, Felix, XX Secret Code, XX Lily, Ardet, and Oliver. The moon isn't right. It was a true mine, but it didn't end there. The moon must really be off because on Twitter, typing the phrase "the moon isn't right" and scrolling down to April 26th, 27th yields a lot of results, all from the ARG community. Dies Area Hotel, GPReeds. Oh, there I am. Naomi Room Access.
Oh!
Sip and Drip Donuts. It's Sip and Dip, not Sip and Drip. Who put Sip and Drip? I'm so mad.
The donuts are drippy.
Could you imagine just like these greasy, glazy donuts just dripping everywhere?
They have Supreme labels on them too.
They're like really cold.
You don't sip the coffee, you sip the donuts because they're that drippy. Anyway, just the sheer amount of collaborations just to freak out a small community in PieWrites was incredible. Even characters in game were sending the same messages out. Gale, Pie, Oliver, and myself fell into a trance-like state, where all we could think about was the moon, and how it's not right. I don't suffer from panic attacks very often, but this was one of those rare times it happened. The moon isn't right. The moon isn't right. While all of this was happening, Oscar got caught by Mama, but was able to escape the library rather easily. He escaped to the stairwell quickly, and I tried to focus. In my DMs, Pie stated the words castle and chess. So I offered Oscar if he's going to oversee a chessboard and something similar in the house, to which he said no. So we hid the key in the stairwell near floor 2 and retreated for the night. I'll be honest, I can't even begin to describe the terror I felt that night. But it was a lot of fun regardless. I could tell it was designed to freak us out. And nothing else. And honestly, only in ARGs could 4 phrases like "the moon isn't right" deal with much psychological damage to someone. That was incredible. Oh, and Namu, the goddess Darren worships, follows me on Twitter because, of course, she's a part of our canon now too. Only PieWrites. If this is what experiences a Devolgric episode is like, imagine dealing with this all of the time. Meet Namu. Namu follows Luna on Twitter and sends her a bunch of encoded messages, most of which she has no idea how to decipher. Thankfully, the rest of the crew had some practice with decoding godly tongues, and were able to do it rather quickly. Well, at the beginning anyway, because 2 new codes no one knew before popped up. One was Goldbug to monoalphabetic substitution, and then someone really wild looking one that looked like bacon on steroids, but no matter. It was time for sleep. Curtain closed. The morning of pure confusion, aka a lot of crap happened that doesn't feel connected. The curtain rises on a new day as Lucas gets on Dadders asking for Jim or Luna. Jim goes over to him and hears about what he saw last night. Everything was pink, and something was on the roof. Luke doesn't understand what a moon is, and Jim explains. Meanwhile, Juby, our newest Risen, wants to talk to Gale about things. All while Paul wants to talk about how the moon isn't right and how this is happening between the 26th and the 27th. Cut to Namu spamming us with even more codes, most of which we couldn't translate due to not knowing how, mostly the 1- code. The Goldbug one was much easier. Also, Namu spoke clearly to Mediocre. He said something about how other worlds are becoming connected to ours, being PieWrites. Look closely, and discount nothing. Meanwhile, Oliver pops up again, and also gets a Nomu code sent to him. Who is this lost child? Note. The codes keep popping up as the day goes on, but I need to switch gears for a bit because it's Lucas's turn for some fun. Lucas's catastrophe. Lucas is bored and wants to do things. He remembers overhearing something about treasure, and while we tried our best to steer the conversation away from it, we really wanted Oscar to take a trip for us. But he is a very relentless person when he wants to be. We tell where the key is and let him try all of the floor 3 doors, because myself and Habit knew what floor had the treasure through our comms with Pie. After enjoying some extra rations of peanut butter, that the Mighty didn't want, he grabbed the key and explained it was dirty. We had him wash it off so he could find out what was on it. Our Ima Grepiger which unscrambles as Grim Reaper. He told us that the Mighty treated him really well, and though they kept calling him a Mighty as well. Great. That's what they meant by no one says no! Fantastic! Pie better keep his end of the bargain here. Anyway, we knew we needed to stall. We could not let him try the key on any of the floor 2 doors in case it contained the weapon that would destroy the Mighty. Lucas heard some crying from below, and it was Charlie wearing her mask again. After she attacked him, Lucas took the mask off and she ran away. Poor girl. We had him examine the mask. Maybe there's a clue on it that explains why they're so bad. Nothing. Not even a name on it. It's just a ceramic mask. It's odd. Aside from some blood, it was totally spotless. We discussed how the mask we saw in image 27 compared to the mask that Charlie wore before. But it's basically upside down, except in this case, Charlie wore it sideways? That's just so confusing. He gets bored again and wants to try floor 2's doors again. But it was about the time for the Mighty to eat, so we had him grab his food. But no, keys on doors now. And we reminded him that the peanut butter he loves to eat is in the kitchen. Because he's a Mighty, he can ask for as many rations as he wishes. Unfortunately, our stall tactic was temporary because he got kicked out for eating close to 100 rations of freaking peanut butter. He took his own version of the peanut butter bath. With his tummy full of food, we said goodbye while we swapped to Gale, concerned about something. Yeah, I have such a weird relationship to peanut butter. I don't even want to get into that, though. If you don't want to find that video, it's still on here.
This man bathed in peanut butter one time on stream while wearing a squirrel suit. It was the best stream I've ever watched, and I'm pretty sure you ate cheesecake while you were
I ate Oreo cheesecake and I dipped it in the bath.
Yep. Yeah. He filled his bath with peanut butter on stream and bathed in it while wearing a squirrel suit and eating cheesecake.
You put that in caveman terms?
I've ever seen.
Can we not talk
There's an
about
emoji on his server. There's an emoji on his server that's just a screenshot of his face at one of the moments, and it was so good. It was such a good live stream.
We should do another fun live stream like that. It's life goals right there.
You gotta do it again. You gotta
Maybe
do
not
it again.
peanut butter. And if I do some weird bath, it's got to be something else.
Vodka.
Okay, it's affordable.
That'll destroy it.
And yeah, it would destroy whatever I'm in and my skin. It'd be bad. Could imagine what that would feel like once it soaked into everything, if you know what I mean.
What about lotion?
Lotion? A lotion bath. That's disgusting.
Ooh.
You dip a good old hot dog in your lotion bath.
Speaking of nasty baths, in the comments they were talking about, or in the live feed, they were talking about drippy Pepto-Bismol donuts for the sip and drip.
Oh. Everyone in the chat has committed a sin at this point.
Yes, Worm, I'll send you the link to that stream I have.
No, why would you even
Pepto bath.
suggest that?
Yes, Dingus. Yes.
No.
Yes. It'll be
Oh my
perfect.
God,
Because
it's
then
so
if you
good.
eat and you get indigestion, you can just scoop some out into your hands.
Dip the hot dog in.
Dip the
Oh my
hot dog
God.
in the Pepto-Bismol.
This is so bad, I love it.
What are you all doing to me?
You know, this is what happens when me and Roxy get into a call. Just chaos.
Yeah.
Pepto bath and hot dog suit. Yep, I do have a hot dog costume.
Put it on and then like
Yes.
take a shower in Pepto.
Oh my God, I'm sending that video to whoever wants it.
Yeah.
I'll post it in the crow's nest of vehemence for you.
Fun. Alright, we've still got...
Okay, not the crow's nest. I'll
I'm
Google
going
shit
back a
post.
little bit. We've still got 20 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and read for the last 20 minutes. And then at the end of this, we can discuss some potential challenge streams. And then if you all want to read some, you can. And if not, we'll continue this later. Because we've been... see, how long have we actually been going? Because let me see, look on OBS real quick.
I think it's 2 hours, possibly. Might be more.
A little over 2.
Yeah, 2 hours 20 minutes. So yeah, if we do another 20 minutes, it'll be right at 2:30, which was where I like to keep it, because once it gets over the 2 hour and 30-minute mark, it's just, I don't know. It's just, if people want to go back and watch this, it feels really daunting to have to watch, 5 hours of a stream. But for some reason, 2 hours and 30 minutes is like the perfect cutoff, so we'll just end this part with that.
What if it ends on like a cliffhanger?
Oh well.
That would be even better, because
We can't
people want to
do
come
that.
back and see what happens.
Yeah, because now you need to come back.
Yeah.
Hey, you got
exactly.
content, Grant. You're welcome.
Oh, Pepto Bath. Would you also? I mean, it seems like in the comments they want to see it happen.
I want to see it.
I
Yeah,
wanna
we
see
have
it,
to.
personally.
I would love to see it.
I think like we should pour the Pepto on him.
You all just travel here to pour Pepto on me.
Yes, I would.
Dude.
It's worth a freaking flight to pour Pepto on me, apparently.
Dude, I will spend $1,000 just to pour Pepto on him.
Honestly, I bought Roxy a birthday gift. Those $43. A plane ticket is nothing. I will buy a plane ticket and I will go to Grant's house and I will pour Pepto on him.
I believe you.
I will.
Alright. Anyway,
Yeah.
He will.
I need to go ahead and finish reading so we don't end up stuck here talking about Pepto for the rest of the stream.
It'll be after the stream.
Okay. Yeah. Alright. Gail and the mirror. Gail popped up on her personal Twitter saying she noticed something weird on the mirror on floor 1. A human and writing. I knew exactly what it said. Rabbit trail again. Rabbit trail. How do I know? Pi showed us. Lucas Adventure, aka Pink Supermoon, Phase 2! After he sneakily tries the key on all the doors in the house, like the gremlin he is, we asked him to try something else for us. We need him to go to the library and find the keyhole. What follows is a multiple-hour struggle, featuring myself and Habit to get him to stand in the correct spot, while trying to see the rest of the Risen from catching on. We were fed clues to Lucas to stand on a specific spot in the library. That's interesting. What are we playing, like Pokemon now, where you have to do a certain move in a certain spot? Imagine a chessboard. Okay. Now picture that chessboard being on the floor. We needed him to stand on F2 originally. This is cool. This alone took a while to do, mostly because Lucas doesn't understand basic directions. When he arrived at F2, he didn't find anything suspicious, poor Lucas, but he did notice some weird paintings on the ceiling and a painting of Budapest near the piano. We were painfully confused until I had an idea. Castle. How the heck do you castle? Thankfully, Habit knew exactly what to do. Lucas needed to be on F8, not F2, because that's where the castle would be. Ah, gotcha. Meanwhile, Pal threw us another bone. A world is crossing over into ours. Find it. We are in crossover with Lily Ardet's ARG, Relived Eternally. Why does that all rhyme? It's like, it's ARG, Relived Eternally, I don't know, whatever. Anyway. That explains the existence of Namu in our world, and the weird codes. That explains how Namu is speaking in the tongues. It's perfect. Game on. We need to finish this. Unfortunately, Lucas could not find the keyhole. Pi gave me one more instruction. Speak the phrase to unlock the reflection. I knew more or less what needed to be done. I was nervous. I was honestly scared of what this would trigger. I just didn't know how to access the Amuhuber site because my brain was utterly fried. Thankfully, the rest of Risen didn't catch on to the task at hand and help me. Skip something there. Didn't catch on to the task at hand and help me out with getting access. It was as simple as using the phrase "hop on down the rabbit trail," and my part was all done, except for my reflection coming out. Dogs are truly loyal, aren't they? I wasn't sure how I was supposed to act after this whole exchange, so I acted like a smug idiot while embarrassing myself and probably Habit too. Oops, but on the bright side, Pi got me off on my high pony and told us to save Lucas, and we did. We got him back safe and sound in his comfy bedroom and told him to wait, just in case we would need him to move further. I'm still highly confused after the events of this mess, even almost a week later, before heading to bed. Namu sends me one more encrypted message. You did well. Be at peace. She's so nice. Oh, and speaking those words triggered a lot of images to get posted on Pi's account. Something about Egyptian gods being important here. And then the biggest one, a bunch of blood oranges. That explains so much about how Devolker blood gets its color. It's plum-colored fruit instead of an orange. It's too perfect. It's amazing it's amazing how Jackass, for like 5 minutes, could teach you so much about the world. For the next 5 days, the crossover with Relived Eternally goes into full gear. Weird worlds collide!
Is this just like an ARG inside of an ARG?
It is, yeah. It's super meta. They're playing an ARG
God.
on this computer. Remember that thing? That's not thinking, at least. That computer at the beginning, the Dater or whatever.
Datters.
Datters.
Datters is like an input into an ARG that is actually controlling this world. Like it's like, kind of like, if you ever seen Cold Lyoko, it's kind of like they're tapping into Lyoko and changing things in it. So it's basically a game, but it's actually changing things in the real world. So that's crazy. Love it.
Oh god, I wonder if this was the first crossover that the PieWrites players have experienced in an ARG. Because, like, there's so many more crossovers after this. And if this was their first one, I'm just like, oh my god. Past Luna, past Liv, y'all are in for a ride.
Hey, everybody look at chat real quick. They're basically RPing in chat, apparently.
Are you role-playing in the live chat?
They're role-playing in the live chat right now.
Cringe.
Okay, so there's this other ARG named Ree's Rapture.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
So my character from REM Sleep, Roxy, decided to bully Ree on Twitter one day, and Mizu, this Gornoska person in the chat, they were like, steps in, no, you will not bully Ree, bears teeth, and I said, are you role playing in my mentions? That's been an ongoing joke ever since.
Oh my god. Mizu, you're a great person, but why do you role-play in Twitter replies?
You are amazing, but please, that was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
That was so good.
Anyway, back to
That's
it.
why I don't have Twitter.
I do, unfortunately. Twitter's a mess. Anyway.
I only use my in-character Twitter,
Yeah.
Cole Jensen.
Nothing wrong with that. Honestly, that's the good side of Twitter. The bad side of Twitter is all the freaking back and forth, just banter for the sake of banter.
Are you self-promoting right now?
No, I didn't just self-promo in Grant stream. What are you talking
Go
about?
ahead, I don't care. Plug your
Subscribe to
plug your Twitter away.
GPReeds.
I'm not talking about Cole Jensen, my Twitter account.
Right.
What? We're not self-promoting? Okay, don't go to twitch.tv/I'mTheArcher. Oh.
Don't play REM Sleep, please.
Just play the Say Word Chronicles.
Right. No Say Word Chronicles, no REM Sleep on YouTube. Neither one of those. Just don't look
Cole
up
Jensen's
Porcelain
on
Ophie.
YouTube.
Triple Jensen is on YouTube.
Dude, shut
Yeah,
up.
don't
We
go
were
there
like,
either.
get on the
But anyway, need to get back to this. I keep getting distracted. But yeah, REM Sleep's also one we're gonna do. Live dive. REM Sleep and I Can Make You Care. I want to do both of those, but I want to do them after we do the other ones I was gonna do, which would be The Noises Below, and I believe there was one more, but I can't think what it was.
Diary of the Damned and
Well, Diary of the Damned is
Cole
very new.
Jensen.
Both of them are pretty new. I mean, I could honestly just do them.
Diary of the Damned and Cole Jensen go together, so
Just
like,
do them together.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you should probably do them together.
Okay.
I can make a playlist of both of them for you.
I would appreciate that.
Chronological order.
Okay. Let's give us another 3 minutes. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. And then once the song ends, we've got another 12 minutes. I'll read for 12 more minutes, and then we'll talk about this hot dog Pepto-Bismol stream. Okay. Can't believe I'm saying that. Alright, the aftermath. Next morning, the Risen wakes up feeling refreshed after all the chaos that happened the night before. I apologize to everyone for acting super out of character, because I'm big dumb, and was treated to Namu spamming us with more and more encrypted messages. Fun. Gail woke up and hasn't seen anything in the mirror all morning. Most of what happens with Namu today deals with Relived Eternally's side of things, but the crossover remains important. Lucas likes what color? Because Lucas comes into Datters once again, After getting kicked out of the kitchen for being a peanut butter lover. I can relate. He hoped that staying up all night helped us out. Really? You're 24 years old? You could... What is it with people in their 20s in peanut butter? Anyway, you're 24 years old. You could choose to pass out, but no, you decide to stay up all night because of obedience. He's perhaps a bit too obedient.
I'm sure you relate to that, Grant.
Yeah. Anyway, he's perhaps a bit too obedient for our tastes. We told him we will have to head back to the library, but things may get a bit dicey. And then he said something that shook me to my core. Always, I love orange. No, you mean mint green, remember? So I took one of my light green images on my computer and threw it in his face, hoping to remind him of his favorite. And something happened. I think this attack was enough to revive an old friend of ours. The wonderful laughter, the control in his voice, the attitude he exudes. This isn't Lucas anymore. This is Michael. This is our real friend. Michael explains that Lucas was his corrective state. Lucas is basically Gale's only orange mode. Michael, his brain, is able to think for himself and is super happy to be out. And on top of that, he doesn't have Pi screeching in his ears and forcing him to do things he hated. Michael truly is our best friend. And it's amazing just how simple change can affect all of our moods. We asked him, since he's still a mighty, if he wants to help us unlock the secrets in the library. He was so down for this. Michael in the mask storage. There's just a storage facility of masks. That's interesting. Michael went back to the library and directed him to the F8. Directed him to F8 was a piece of cake. It's so nice when you have someone who can think for themselves for puzzles like this. He looks down at the floor and notices a keyhole. Precisely what we needed yesterday. He opens it up and it leads to a staircase to a hidden room on floor 1. It's a lit up room with a lot of masks in it. That's where they got the mask earlier. We look around the room, hoping to find something interesting. Maybe some kind of anti-mighty weaponry or something, but nope. Just masks. All kinds of masks. We had Michael put on one of the masks, but it didn't seem to trigger much. Aside from some weird images popping up in Pi's account on Twitter. He didn't feel powerful at all, but instead rather stupid. He quickly took the thing off, and we brought it upstairs, hoping to create a plan of attack. You know what? You have an enemy, you throw that mask on them, they're stupid, and you just take them out. Anyway.
Yeah.
Michael and the happy Duff mask. Charlie gets on Dardis, and scared out of her mind because she sees Michael wearing the Dove mask from last night. We were confused because he felt dumb wearing it previously, but paid it no mind. Though when he popped up himself on Dadders, we just asked him to take it off, which he did easily. Over in Discord, we had theorized that because there are so many animal masks in this storage, if the raven means death, the dove means life. Then there could be a phoenix mask, which would be rebirth. We have him take the mask off and attempt to describe a phoenix to him. On that note, Habit learns that his new favorite color is royal blue. An awesome color for an awesome person. That's my dude. Oh, and after learning the Archangel Michael was known for his royal blue aura as well, Pi congratulates us on learning an important fact. Dare I call it a critical hit. Royal blue, Michael. Okay. Gale is not Julian. I had a theory about Gale, saying how Julian was her perfect opposite, so I gathered some purple images and threw that in her face. Unfortunately, it was wrong, confirmed Julian and Gale are two separate entities. On the bright side, we're able to get more information about how Dardis started, about Emery working with Julian, and about how they're doing blood transfusions at home. So you finally let out some pent-up anger about Julian that seemed to help her a lot as well. About time, Gale. Also note to self, make sure to keep Gale up to date about things we learn. She's very important. Return to the mask storage. Michael returns to the mask storage beneath F2's library to hopefully find a phoenix mask. Our logic was if Raven equals death, then Dove equals life, then Phoenix would equal rebirth. We figured this could unlock how Darren and Christopher somehow revived. After speaking some time down there, we found exactly what we were looking for, except it's pink? How the heck? Oh well, that can't be bad, right? Michael and the Phoenix mask. Michael scares Charlie.
Pink is the same color as Pepto.
Why? Archer, why? Why are you doing this to me? You're gonna freaking turn me into some kind of creature. Into a hot dog, apparently. But Michael scares...
Like creature.
The hot dog creature. The weenie.
No.
Okay. Michael in the Phoenix mask. Michael scares Charlie, again while wearing a mask. Again. To be exact, he's wearing the pink Phoenix mask we found the previous afternoon, and really nothing came of it, aside from him acting like a jackass. Well, at least for now, anyway. The Divulgar oh, there's Divulgar masks. Darren pops up on Datters and once again explains a bit more about the masks. They are called Divulgar masks and basically act like highly addictive drugs to those that wear them. As the wearer wears them more, the effects gained from them increase. He wishes for us to break them. Easier said than done, seeing how we have Pi in our DM screaming at us not to do so or suffer the consequences. Honestly, this deal was more like a huge setback because we couldn't make the moves we wanted. On the bright side, we're able to convince Michael to throw the dove into Darren's closet, so hopefully that doesn't screw us over later. Namu and Oliver. I want to try to get to 130. Oliver and Namu have a chat encrypted in 12 tongues. Not much comes from it, but it seems to be an important conversation. It's basically Namu wishing him caution and lucid, Oliver being very, very confused, as are most of the Risen while dealing with her. Fully understandable. Humans in an animal world. Gale explains how she knew that the humans were and what they looked like. She describes them like the dinosaurs in our world. Whoa, this isn't the few. That's... What? Okay, I gotta think on that one. Apparently they existed at some point in their alternate universe, Earth. Ah, okay, but not anymore. Oh. Unfortunately, she is unable to give us more information than that due to the Mighty refusing to teach anyone anything worthwhile. I mean, for God's sake, she's literally the one person in this cult who knew members bigger than 9 before Risen intervened. A very clean past. Archaic Jin, one of PieWrites' first players, rejoins the game, and Pie takes a trip down memory lane, reminiscing about the old days, how clean everything was, how she, the first 2 avatars they used for the fake account, and a few of the older images. It was really cool to see, and I gotta say, Gale is super cute. Okay, but then I was no longer so clean. Ooh. The PieWrites Twitter gets a sick new profile picture, and Pie goes absolutely insane with laughter. Namu brings together the Risen, and speaks to them in tongues. I know how to decipher it, and we learn the rules of Hermes. Now just to figure out what they mean for us, and for the relived eternally crew. Most of this concerns the RE side of things, but it was really cool just to experience them. Disconnect number 6. Crap, disconnecting again? And suddenly, disconnecting was shown on Datters. But how? We quickly contact Gale to see if it's the same on her side, and sure enough it was. She was going to move the hub away from Emery because she couldn't trust her anymore. Welcome to Disconnect 6. But then 5 minutes later, it was reconnected and everything worked again. So, that happened, and it required mention, otherwise this summary doc would be incomplete. The Risen make their mark. An event over 2 days, as the relived Eternally crew and the Risen try to understand what the rules of Hermes are and how to get marked by Tiamat. Again, like in Event 123, this mostly concerns the relived Eternally side of things, but it was a very fun time and an amazing introduction to another ARG. We are absolutely hyped for the return of Relived Eternally later this year. Meet Usha. YouTube webcode for Slowly Dancing in the Dark by Joji pops up on Datters and a new character, a 15-year-old river and sea otter hybrid named Usha. Usha? Yusha? I'm saying Yusha. Yusha is very confused as to how he's learning music in his mind. We attempt to explain, but it takes a while for him to even understand what Datters is, and how he's hearing voices in his head. Shortly after, he takes it like a champ and describes himself as Julian's boyfriend. He calls her Jules. That's adorable. Torva Messor. In this continuation of Event 126, the Risen and RE crew finally gain access to Hermes and become marked by Tiamat. A very specific mask pops up on the server with the name Torva Messor on it. Torva Messor means Grim Reaper in Latin. What two am I? Pi challenges the Risen to figure out what 2 ancient figures he represents. With a couple small hints thrown here and there, we learn Pi represents a hybrid between Anubis, the Egyptian god of dead, and Amet, the Egyptian god of judgment, also known as the Devourer of Souls. And thus ends the crossover with Relived Eternally. RE re-enters hiatus, though with even more players than before. The hype is real. So that was kind of a chapter end. Should I just end it right there, or should I read 30 and just start something else for no reason? Because I'm kind of feeling it. Yeah, we still have 2 minutes. I'm just gonna keep reading. Closet stuck Charlie. Michael continues his wrath against Charlie for some unknown reason. He also can't seem to get enough of the pink Phoenix mask because he's been wearing it non-stop. That's a bad sign right there. He's gonna get addicted to it if he's not careful. Devil deal broken by the devil. Pi announces to Habit and Luna that their deal is over. He's got exactly what he wanted and didn't feel it was necessary to continue the agreement. Lots of completely reasonable name-calling, revealing, and DMs ensued. Turns out it's hard to scratch the back of personalization of divulgar blood. Michael can't quite Pi, or can't quite Pi. Michael can't quit Pi. That's a problem we all face. It's hard to quit Pi. Michael is physically and mentally unable to take the mask off. It is treated as a highly addictive divulgar drug, and he's getting a full dosage of the power behind it. According to Darren, the answer is to get the mask off of him and force him into a room to detox and rehabilitate. He also gives us an idea to knock him off his high horse to attempt to guilt him into taking it off. Darren is also terrible at giving advice. I'm gonna do knock knock. We got 30 seconds. Okay. Charlie continues to get tormented by Pi. Michael and there is an attempt to reason with him to try and get him to put his guard down. It didn't work. If anything, it made Michael even more resilient to change since he kept calling him Lucas. We did learn that Darren really didn't do anything wrong though, aside from following the rules of the cult. His closet on floor 3 didn't have anything damning either. He wanted to be a therapist and was actually trying to help the Pures out with their mental health. Darren did nothing wrong aside from relocating Madeline's arm, which caused Lucas to break both of his legs in rage. And with that, the song is over. We are going to put a stopper in it on 134, and we will pick up... Honestly, we could probably pick up tomorrow. I'll get back with you, but probably tomorrow.
That would be awesome, yeah.
That'd be
Try
great.
and be on time, actually.
Dude, oh my god, I love PieWrites so much.
I
It is
didn't
one of my
realize how, like,
favorite eras.
it was.
I was
It's
totally
so
doing the one
good.
chapter thing live. For sure.
I cannot express how good this ARG is. It is amazing.
This is a good story. Honestly, this is like a book that is an ARG. This is really good. I'm really liking this.
So many ARGs.
Yeah. That's a Molterg.
Someone in your chat made a dream reference. All in favor of banning them.
Me.
Eh,
No, you can't ban Liv. Liv's awesome.
Wait, no, it was Liv? Yeah, no, they're immune.
Yeah,
Oh,
Liv's
this-
There'll just be a warning to the rest of you, though. No dream references.
No dream
DNF
references.
in our YouTube chat.
I will release Cole Jensen on you like a wild hound.
Oh no. Didn't Cole like break Liv's door canonically?
Yeah, canonically,
Oh
he
my.
kicked down Liv's door and then fixed it.
This was really fun to read, though. I enjoyed having you all here, just chatting it up, too. Even if you don't apparently have any lines, I've enjoyed having you all here, so I want you all back for the next one, too, for sure.
Does Cole bark? No, he does not bark. He's not a dog.
Cole barks. Cole barks.
He does not bark.
I've seen it.
I'm
I can
I'm
see
gonna
him
make
barking.
him bark.
You cannot make him bark.
Yes, I can. I'll give him a nickel.
You won't do that for a nickel, Roxy.
You just gotta yell hot dog.
Fine, a quarter.
Okay,
quarter,
fine.
yeah.
Maybe for a quarter.
2 quarters.
Okay, well, the 2 quarters, that's a bit much.
Yeah. What if we gave you a silver dollar?
Oh, a silver dollar?
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What if I gave you $10 million cash?
Cole
Okay.
has way more than $10 million.
Oh, sorry, bro. That's all I got.
All right, I'm gonna grab
only
these
have
cookies real
10
quick.
Do you want my
Million?
Ryan Reynolds cardboard cutout? Would that work?
I don't
Ask
want.
me why I have a
I-
random plate of cookies over there.
Are they stale?
So I'm just gonna eat these cookies while you're talking. So yeah, about this challenge stream.
Oh my gosh.
From our Cookie Crunch.
Yo, can I get one?
Here you go.
Oh, thanks, bro. Really needed that today.
Hey, let me get one too. Hey, what the dog doing?
Wait, what kind of cookies
Roxy
are
gets one
those?
because it's Roxy's birthday.
What kind of
Roxy's
Hell,
birthday.
cookies?
Happy birthday again, Roxy, by the way. I hope your day's been pretty awesome.
Thank you.
You sing happy birthday, or is that
You want
the
to?
MTA?
No.
It's technically not copyrighted if you want to.
I'm gonna cry if you guys do. Like the not the good kind of cry, like the bad kind.
Oh, well.
What? Okay. Is
Chris,
there-
I see that in the chat. Do
you
not
know that
ask
the-
Cole to bark.
Do you
I
know the
see
happy
that.
birthday song in French, by the way, Archer? Possibly?
think I know French?
Yes.
Makes you think I know French.
I don't know. Why wouldn't you? I mean, you're Archer.
Yeah, exactly.
Or are you talking about my ARG, where
Yeah.
this guy is
Speak French. Your RG's real. Speak
Speak
French.
French right now.
Speak French.
French right now?
Right now.
Just because sometimes I break out a French sentence
blessing.
doesn't mean I'm
Pirate
fluent.
says it's not
Oui,
challenge,
oui,
it's a
monsieur
blessing.
Fronton.
How is a hot dog
Je
bad at
mange les
blessing?
pois.
I can
Okay.
swear in French.
I can swear in Russian.
I can swear in
That doesn't surprise me.
For real though, would you actually hate it if we sung happy birthday to you?
Yeah, I probably would.
Out of respect.
Should you
then.
go for it if you want? If you want,
Like you can do
Chris.
it anyways. I don't care.
You know what? Screw
Hold
it.
on, I'll get it.
Screw it.
I'll get the French version up.
Mm-mm. We can't sing happy birthday. So I'm gonna
Birthday
make it play in the
lyrics.
background. Remix? There's a remix? Okay. Remix time.
Wait, there's a remix of Happy Birthday?
Apparently.
Oh my god.
Trap remix. Here we go.
Rem Sleep remix.
A trap remix?
Trap remix.
I could
I turned
sing
it all the way
Lil-
up.
DJ Panda birthday song, yeah.
I can imagine
Yeah,
Lil
you're
Wayne
okay.
singing Happy
We
Birthday.
gon' say it loud. Today is your birthday. I know you're so proud.
I know you can't see it right now, but I'm giving a stern look of disapproval.
Party, get it lit and wild out. Cut the cake and we gon' sing
My
happy, happy,
little
happy
ears.
birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday.
Hear it?
Happy, happy, happy birthday.
I'll turn it down a little
to
bit.
you,
I'll play really
yeah.
loud.
Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday.
I could do it in French. I'm just bad at
Like a
French.
kiss.
Most of the stuff in the Favorite Chronicles is either Google Translate or from a friend in French.
It's coming in, and my parents raised my allowance. Yeah, I'm jumping around. Yeah, up and
Welcome to the first stream you've been in that's
I
on the
know you
streams,
can.
Katie. Sorry if it's too much chaos.
we gon' say it loud. Today is your birthday.
Worm, I know you can picture that look.
I can picture that look because I've gotten that look before.
No, Worm's gone from me IRL. So
You got it, Roxy. I'm sure you can.
listen, he's gotten that look from me in real life several times.
In a VC, it's different, but if it's in real life, you
Yeah.
know you're about to die.
He's gotten my stern look of disapproval.
She's about to take her eBay Doc Martens and
But again, Katie, thank you. I want to thank you again though for the support and for being super nice. And like those of you who don't know Katie, if you want to join the Discord, the Readers Corner Discord server, Katie, everyone would love to meet you. You're like one of the nicest people ever. You'll fit in super well. And for real though, I do want if whatever image you have in your mind with any of the plushes I have. If you don't know what all I have, I can send you a picture of that and show you. But
they put the description of that monster like out in the corner if you want.
yeah, whatever you want whatever you want for your image, Katie, just let me know. I'll make it as soon as I can.
How are those cookies, Grant?
They're really freaking good. They're
Did get them.
hazelnut and peanut
They're
butter.
hazelnut.
so-
Ew.
Made them like yesterday, but they're still really good.
Are they as good as butter on a Pop Tart?
Roxy, I
No.
swear.
Not even close as good as butter on a Pop-Tart.
Have,
Okay, don't do
have
that.
you ever put butter on a Pop Tart?
I have.
It's
It's
so,
so
freaking
freaking
good.
Yeah, have you ever put butter on a Pop-Tart?
If you haven't, then I think you should.
You can only watch Grant. You can only watch GPReeds if you have eaten butter on a Pop-Tart.
But anyway, what we're actually supposed to talk about here at the end. So this challenge.
Pepto-Bismol. Yeah, we just need a plane ticket.
I think what we should do, because I really don't want to have to give me a plane ticket. I don't particularly want to have to do it, but it's something I'm willing to do. So what kind of goal should we set to unlock this hot dog Pepto stream?
I'm gonna. You know what? If you're. I
What was
don't
the
know
goal
if you
for
know-
last one?
It was 60 likes on the stream we were in.
Oh yeah. Okay.
You fool! I have 70 alternative accounts.
See, Katie's the best.
Heck, what stream was that? Was that a? I don't know. I think that was just a random stream that you were doing.
It was we got 26 likes already. That's awesome. But I would say get this one to 60, but I know you could do it in like 3 seconds, so it needs to be something a little bit more challenging
have-
than that.
We have countless alt accounts, Grant.
Exactly.
I'm trying to remember. Trying to remember what type of stream
It
the
was an update
one
stream.
was where we had to get it to 61.
I was outside
Yeah, it was an update.
and I was doing an update stream.
I remember that part. I remember it being outside.
Was it cold?
We were talking about Tress, I think, back when we were doing the Tress ARG thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I remember that.
If you haven't been able to tell, I've taken a long break from ARG. I don't know if I want to finish what I
Yeah.
did, because it was honestly really personal. I mean, most of the stuff y'all were finding out was actually stuff from my life that I need to work through, and I worked through most of it. So it's like, do I need to go revisit that, or would it be better to move on to something else? Because, I mean, if it's just going to cause me emotional distress, is it even worth it just in something that not everybody was super invested in anyway?
Don't burn yourself out for other people.
Don't hurt
Man,
yourself
you know
for
what you can do?
content.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was
Grant,
thinking.
you know what you
That's why
should
I haven't
do?
done it.
Should we do, Roxy?
You can make a new ARG, and you should make a Slender series.
Oh my
I did think of
god,
that.
join the gang.
I did think of that.
In the Slender-
I think you'd make a really good Slender series.
You just have to put
'Cause,
in
like-
some Weezer.
I know. I've seen your old ARG, and you have a lot of creative potential, and it's your style is just what the Slenderverse needs. Because I love the cinematics in it. I love just your entire style is so good. And if you made a Slender series,
I might.
if you made a Slender series, I think that would be an amazing addition to the mythos.
Is there role playing in the stream chat?
I mean, I miss it. I still do stuff collaboratively with the Naomi stuff, but I mean, I haven't actually done anything that's just been something I'm producing or something done live. So I might, because I do miss it a lot. But I was thinking I didn't want to go back into my old
It would be-
stuff and revisit that trauma. But I mean, if I did it as a Slender
Yeah.
series, completely unrelated. Yeah. I mean, my background.
I think you could do a really good Slender series.
I probably could.
You have
if I
to
really
promise
tried.
us one thing if you do.
I could give you tips too.
Yeah,
You have to
absolutely.
promise us that Buddy Holly will appear in it.
Watch that be the last episode. Just all this random crap as the universe collapses on itself.
They all end.
I might. That's something to think about. Now that I would actually enjoy, because I actually have this other ARG I was working on. It's called High Five Friends, and it's just the creepiest thing ever. It's only 10 episodes. I might still do that, but I was, having something a little more long form, a little more cinematic. I haven't really had anything like that in mind. And coming from the, the author background, when I say author, I mean, writer, novels, I feel like I could take an idea and kind of sculpt it into a model format and then translate that into a Slender series. So I might. That'd be fun.
Yeah. It would be fun. I'd love to see something in the
Sounds like-
Slenderverse from you.
I don't want a
Sounds like
lot
the
of
museum space.
crossovers, but I wouldn't mind having a few from like you, Roxy, and a couple people from that universe
Oh, that'd
maybe
be
connected to that. But I mean,
Fun.
Yeah.
problem is, for those of you who did solve my old ARG, pretty much all of my old friends just, did their own thing, up and left, had negative emotions with me, and just kind of backed away. So I don't particularly have anybody to do like interactions with in real life, except for like maybe my brother. But so I'm thinking maybe some kind of somebody stuck in an alternate dimension, weird stuff, kind of mystery side of things, maybe.
If we go over there for the Pepto thing, we can
We'll record some episodes
stay
while
there
you're
for
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, just stay a month. It'll be fine. Nobody will think that's weird at all.
I don't have school. It's
Right.
fine.
Forget school. You've got a Slender series. It's much more important.
Much
Jet
more
school,
important.
Slenderman.
Yeah, Pepto. Yeah, as part of this ARG, incorporate the Pepto hot dog bath and make it canon to the
Oh
Slender
my
series.
god, yes.
We should all just have the picture flash randomly, just like in the background.
That'll be what the codes are on. They're just going to be hidden on pictures of that moment.
In the main Slenderverse canon, there is a character from PieWrites with Pepto blood. So
It
Yeah.
was right. I'm so smart.
Yeah, they're still apparently role playing in the chat.
Cole could do it in canon. I would allow it. If you can supply Cole with enough Pepto-Bismol to make him take a bath in it, and then convince him to take a bath in it, he will.
Just like put
This-
like money just like above it,
Just a quarter. That's all it takes.
like a quarter.
Just
shake.
throw a quarter in the bathtub and he'll go buck wild.
hair terminal open.
Right.
I mean, he could just suck out Terminal's blood again.
As
Hey,
one
yo.
does.
as one does. But like, Pepto is actually disgusting. So like, is he okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, fun fact. Cole can get high off normal Pepto-Bismol.
Really?
Anyone can get high off normal Pepto Bismol if they try hard enough.
No, he doesn't have to try. He just drinks like one normal serving of it and he's just high.
Okay, I'd like to live like that.
It's so good.
Anyway, these little topics we get on, some interesting stuff. I don't know. I do not want to have to eat any of this, but I mean, I feel like it would be a cardinal sin to not eat a hot dog in the hot dog suit in the Pepto bath and dip
Be
it in
cannibal.
Pepto.
You've gotta.
I mean, you just gotta.
If you don't, I'm unsubscribing.
What is a serving of Pepto? Okay. How
It's
much
one
Pepto-
full cup.
Like one of the cap cups or like the whole bottle?
No, one of the cap cups.
Oh.
30 millimeter cup, yeah. Milliliter.
You know what? Next time we do this, I don't know when, but I am going to the store and I'm buying a bottle of Pepto and I will just drink it in between lines.
Let me see where my sub count's at. Let's make
That's
this a
very
sub
important.
thing.
You've got-
Yeah, we only need like 30 more subscribers to get to 1,500. Let's do that. When we get to 1,500.
Yes. You guys should subscribe to GPReeds right now, or else I'm gonna cry.
And if it's a bunch of
You don't
spam
wanna make
accounts,
her
it will
cry on
kick
her
it out.
birthday, do you?
So it needs to be your actual account. If you sign out to another account and sign in, and then go in and spam subscribe, for some reason, YouTube's primary system right now will kick it out. Because I had somebody do that. They're like, I'll subscribe with all 5 of my accounts, and went up 1 and then went down like 4. And I looked to see what I had to use the plugin to see who left. It was the same 5. Like, it will actually kick you out of the system and not count it if they know it's the same person that spammed accounts. So
Well, I have a
1 to
different-
2 accounts, probably just 1. Your main accounts. Please sub to GPReeds when we get to 1,500. We'll start planning and buying and getting things ready for this weird hot dog challenge.
I'm so excited.
It's gonna be so freaking good.
I just gotta get into my Canon account to like the stream.
Yeah.
add this to watch later, real quick.
Way too many notifications. I have a personal server with a lot of my friends, and I just put the link to your channel in just chatting. It says subscribe to him or my friend will cry on her birthday.
Yeah. Don't make the birthday girl cry. It's illegal.
I'll cry because she'll cry, and that'll make me sad. But then she'll probably punch me and tell me to stop crying.
With this music and you all talking about this.
I can't hear it.
Well, I will commit an act of violence towards you if you do not subscribe.
A video game.
You will.
There's people who are saying that they would not subscribe if I did. Now here's what we could do. No. Instead of the hot dog bath, because that sounds like it's gonna be a big mess. How about we meet at a compromise between the two?
Hot dog bath.
No.
Hot
I
dog
will
bath.
cook
Hot dog
various
bath.
hot dog dishes live in the hot dog suit, and I will have to incorporate Pepto into every dish and then eat it all on stream.
Inject
Okay, that
Pepto-Bismol
sounds,
into the
that
hot
sounds a
dog.
lot more fun.
A lot more fun,
That
less
sounds a lot
torture.
more fun. Let's do that instead.
What about that?
Torture,
Is that a
trauma, same thing.
I mean, it's still trauma, but is that a good compromise there?
Yeah, that's good. I like that. That's a lot more fun.
So we're not gonna like drown things in Pepto. Like some things might, like the hot dog itself, maybe like a chili dog situation, but I have to actually incorporate it and find ways to actually make it taste good, and the other dishes.
Well, chili dogs are chunks.
Chili dog.
Poop said he won't be modding.
If Grant gets to 2,000
He acts like there's gonna be more than
subscribers,
one. It's just
I'll
one
follow
stream, dude.
Pepto-Bismol. Barry says that would like Grant to bathe in Pepto-Bismol.
I actually want to see if I can make it taste good. Like, I'm curious now.
What about like the tablets, like the chewable Pepto tablets, and then like you crunch it and like eat it, and then you eat the hot dog?
I don't think that would be good
the
enough.
other
But
way
I mean,
around.
if we cooked with it, it wouldn't have to be the liquid. We could like get the tablets and crunch them up into some of it. Just as long as everything has a Pepto kick to it.
Oh, hear me out. So instead of like cheese fries, Pepto fries.
Fries.
Pepto
You're
fries
horrible, you know
and a
that?
Pepto dog.
And instead of bacon bits, you crush up antacid tablets. You sprinkle them on the Pepto.
On the salad, on your Pepto salad. Instead of salad dressing, it's just Pepto.
Can't really do
You
salad.
go to reach for your ranch bottle, and it's just a bottle of Pepto-Bismol.
Oh, it's the normal ranch bottle, right? But it's just pink.
Hot wings, but not hot wings. Pepto wings.
Yes!
That actually
want
sounds
those.
good.
I need those.
Oddly.
It
Strawberry
might be
ice cream with
good.
Pepto sprinkles. There we go. There's a suggestion.
My mouth began to water as you said hot wings. Pepto hot wings.
Yeah.
Archer wants Pepto hot wings.
Sure does want
That
Pepto
actually
hot-
sounds kind of good.
I know, right? I want to try that.
Roxy, you don't get to have an opinion. You eat so much Taco Bell that you could kill a man.
I could.
It's because we keep getting her Taco Bell.
Everyone
Yeah.
in chat, stop encouraging Roxy to buy Taco Bell.
Guys,
Continue encouraging me, please.
I
And
will
it's her
yell
birthday.
sodium warning at you personally in DMs. I will find where you live and mail you a singular text file on a USB drive that just says sodium warning.
During
I
this
have low
stream,
blood pressure.
during the stream,
I
I've
have
had
the sodium.
I've had two
Carbonated
crunch wraps.
Pepto. Ew.
Two chalupa-
You've had two.
Dude.
How did you eat two crunch wraps?
How do you
two
not?
chalupa, two
During
cheddar
the stream?
chalupa, supremes.
So much sodium.
Gen 3 meetup is gonna be at a
one of
Taco
those
Bell.
grilled cheese burritos, a Baja Blast, and some soft tacos.
And
During
you
the
sound like
stream,
the top 15
alone.
chills,
Ew.
a
Still Happy
Baja
Meals.
Blast.
A
If-
Baja Blast.
If I look at the panel for Gen 3 and it's at a Taco Bell, I'm not coming.
Yeah, you
No,
are.
remember,
Jet-
we're gonna have it at that weird abandoned place.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We're gonna bring Taco Bell, and my Bluetooth speaker will be playing Weezer.
I will.
Good.
Of course, we'll bring some chairs to accommodate to Roxy.
I will bring my pickaxe and I will lean on it. Just awkwardly.
I hate that you have a pickaxe. I hate that you
Why
actually
do you
have a
hate
pickaxe.
that? Because the soil is rocky, Roxy, and you need it.
Hey, Roxy,
No.
This music's making everything so ominous.
do you guys know that Roxy eats chairs?
Roxy does eat chairs. I've seen it happen.
No. Lily, you're
Like
based.
without
Yeah, I
the,
do-
like, without
I
the
do.
sauce.
I do
You do
deserve
have a
several
sauce.
party packs of tacos for my birthday. Thank you for recognizing that.
I almost genuinely like wanted to send Roxy a bunch of Taco Bell for her birthday,
Dude.
but then send like
Dude,
a
you
mini chair.
Oh my god. I don't eat chairs. That's just a dirty rumor that people are spreading
No,
around.
no. I walked into I walked into the
and I will
Taco
not
Bell.
stop.
I walked into the Taco Bell one time. I saw you in the back munching on a wooden chair like a beaver.
No.
This
Her-
music
like,
is
with-
perfect.
Without the sauce. I've been saying this for 2 years now, not 2 years, 1 year now, and I will not stop. And
I've never eaten a chair in my life. I don't know what you're talking about.
You even eat it without the sauce. It still counts when you don't have the sauce.
Wait, you're supposed to eat them with sauce?
You don't eat it with the sauce.
No, I eat it with blood. What are you talking about?
Hello?
The Pepto blood.
Lily
Yeah.
gets it. Lily gets it. Yeah, I deserve 15, at least 15 chalupas every day. in my
Roxy,
birthday.
you're not getting
Lily gets it. Lily gets it. Lily understands me. Me and Lily are best friends.
I'm looking at the stream, and Grant looks like he's so like ready to say something, but the children are speaking.
No, it's more so I'm thinking about how I could make these Pepto foods actually good. I really want to try this now. Like, I'm actually excited.
You know, I'm gonna Google Pepto food.
Yeah, that's gonna be the menu though. I think it's gonna be Pepto fries, Pepto hot dog,
Pepto
Pepto
tacos.
wings,
You gotta
and
do
Pepto ice
Pepto.
cream.
There's Pepto cake.
You gotta do
there's,
tacos.
there's Pepto,
Pepto taco.
wing sauce. Pepto Pop Tarts. Pepto brownies.
Have you ever put Pepto on a Pop-Tart? It's so
Good grief.
freaking good.
Pepto Pop-Tart.
Okay, apparently you can get over a hangover with Pepto ice cream. I'll need to remember that. Pepto Oreos. Pepto Happy Meals.
I'm most
If-
excited about
if-
the ice cream and wings.
No,
though,
really,
not
no
gonna lie.
one.
If I
Really,
come
no
to
one's
your
gotten me
house-
a tacos for that.
If I come to your house and I ask for Oreos and you hand me Pepto Bismol Oreos, I'm leaving.
I'm just getting married to whoever gave me those.
Pepto
Yeah,
I will
worm.
eat all
worm,
of your
take-
gardening
And the thing is, there
tacos.
is a limit of how much Pepto you can actually eat before it starts to mess you up, like bad, and especially having irritable bowel. I'm not gonna.
Without limits.
No, I'm gonna measure it out where it's not an overabundance. So that's the thing. I want to have enough foods where I'll really be able to taste it without going for like this buffet and only getting like a drop on each thing. So I think it'd be good to stick in with the fries, the hot dog, the wings, and ice cream for dessert.
I just had a great idea.
What is it, Archer?
Maybe a Pepto
So
smoothie to drink.
instead of just the Pepto covered hot dog, can we call it the Pepto Glismo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Archer, the block button is looking so good right now.
Man, Roxy's report button looking kind of.
No joke, no cap. If you actually report my Discord account, it might get banned because I've said some pretty suspicious things.
Hey yo!
I don't doubt that.
Yeah.
Wait, you guys know those like Munchkin things from like Dunkin' Donuts and Tim Hortons?
No, do not. Do not.
What if we fill them with Pepto?
You put it in like one of those edible membranes so it pops.
Yep, something's going wrong here. So maybe Pepto
There's
isn't a
Pepto
great
Bismol
idea
muffins. Hold on, I'll put
because the
I'll
sub
put
count's
them in
going down.
Guys,
What do you mean the
guys.
sub count's going down? What do you mean people don't like the Pepto-Bismol discussion?
Guys, look.
Pepto-Bismol. That's how it is. Being all prejudiced against Pepto. Mm-hmm.
That looks like blood, Archer.
Doesn't it looks great?
Those look like blood muffins.
Hey, Roxy, I got you a birthday present. Do you want to see it?
Oh God, yeah, sure.
Oh,
It-
I'm
No, Lupa. Dude, I saw that picture like 2 years ago. The first person to play Pluvio in REM sleep sent that image to me.
Oh no.
Like the guy who created Pluvio and Toshiba sent that image to me. I remember it so vividly.
Hey, do you think this would look? Do you think that would taste good with butter?
Oh, stop. You know what? Hold on. I'm posting the cookie dip image. There.
Oh no!
Yeah, maybe we should do a different challenge. I'm finding out some things about Pepto that's real unsavory. I'd still like to see what it tastes like, but maybe not that.
Stop.
What if you
Ruining the
injected?
vibe.
Hold on. Right, hear me out. What if we put Pepto-Bismol into a burger so that it exploded with
Like a cheddar-filled
Pepto-Bismol
burger?
when you took a bite?
Yeah.
Hold on. I have an image related to this.
Good grief, that'd be so awful. It would look so.
Hold on. No,
gross.
hold on. It's this burger explodes with cheese when you take a
Mhm.
bite.
This cheddar stuffed burger, but with Pepto.
There was a giveaway for Pepto-Bismol, like spicy Pepto-Bismol sauce, like a few years ago, apparently.
Spicy?
Oh, not a few years ago, 2010.
You know,
Honestly, 2010 was
few
like
years
2
ago.
years ago.
just a few years
Bro,
ago.
I was barely conscious.
What are you talking about? It's
Is that-
2012.
Is that a cookie being dipped into marinara sauce?
That is
Oh.
ketchup. Everyone I've sent that image to has said that it's marinara. It is ketchup.
How was that ketchup? It has little particles of things in it.
Marinara is darker.
No, look,
It's-
there's particles
it's-
of like basil in it.
It's special ketchup.
Special ketchup,
What
aka
the-
marinara
What does
sauce.
that mean?
Just about to say
Show it
marijuana.
show it to the stream, Grant.
Show it to the stream. The stream
Throw all of
deserves
our
to
Pepto
know.
creations to the stream.
If you don't show it to the chat, I will.
I will
I know you will.
unsubscribe.
I know you'll show it anyway, so.
I will DM it to every Discord account in the stream that I know of.
It's gonna knock me out probably.
I will knock you out and
You
take over the
streamer
stream.
No, I'm saying with.
You in streamer
I
mode?
was in the party account on that. It's not in this. Yeah, give me a sec. I can do like I did earlier, where I'll turn off the window
Sir,
capture.
you need to be in streamer mode, sir.
Hey, this is the end of the stream. I don't gotta do anything. There it is. There's the abomination.
Oh, show the rest of our wonderful creations, Grant.
Look, you can see the Sonic and the Mega one.
Oh gosh, it's horrific. Why?
You can see it. They
Why
swapped.
is this a thing?
They swapped, Grant.
Pepto Bismol brownie.
Hmm.
I honestly don't doubt that Kraft made that. Pepto tarts, new Peptalupa. Oh gosh. Pepto cupcakes. Or
Muffins.
muffins, yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah. What? No, that is evil. No, I can't accept
That
this
is-
existing.
Bring that.
That is how I drink my soda, Grant. That is how I drink my
Why?
soda.
Do you like pieces of beef in your soda?
Oh, I love meat. I love it in my drink.
Oh, hey
The
Grant.
average meat enjoyer.
Can't even.
Grant, is this enough thermal paste, or should I add more?
Oh, don't start with the computer images. I'll pull up my computer image.
You need more. It needs to be over the whole thing.
I'm finding plenty.
Oh my god.
spaghetti sauce crispy treat? That's a thing?
Did they take a bite out of the CPU and then dip it in the sauce?
Ooh. That's a good suggestion. Pepto dip chips, like, cause you're just getting a little bit of salty crunch with your Pepto. Fried Pepto balls, Pepto jelly munchkin, Pepto jelly donut, and then poof over there. Pepto Bismol is bismuth metal. It is though, actually. It's dangerous to have an overload of it, but it's funny to me. All the suggestions.
Oh
and
my
it's
god.
Yeah. We should probably skip out on that. We could think of a better challenge, honestly. I feel like.
No.
No? What? Poof, dude, calm down. I hope you know he's just joking.
I'm screenshotting that. Poof poof.
What is it? Wait. I will pay you. I'll do it.
Quarter.
I know. I have Rox's address. I can go.
Currently in her house. I'm in her basement right now. I could just walk upstairs and like.
Oh, there's more images that I haven't went into yet. Oh my. Quite a few. How many images did you post? Whoa, that is real dusty. Did you dip a microchip into, like, ranch?
Mom and Dad get divorced, so you get double the V-Bucks.
Tasty
double the
treat
Pepto.
that's good to eat.
Whoa. I don't even want to know what this is.
Coca-Cola espuma.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
You
want
wanna know,
Oh, that's
Grant.
what my PC looks like.
Maybe I should stop scrolling. I don't know what I'm gonna encounter here. Ew. Ew. No. Ew. Ew. Ew.
What's wrong, Grant? It's just a Teletubby.
No, that's not what I was talking about.
Guys, you'll never believe this. I just got pizza.
Yeah. This is basically modern society. Yeah. Yeah.
That's me. How was your day, Archer? I just posted a video on the Sayward Chronicles. Oh, so you're sad? Yeah.
I'm tired.
Agreed. Stop posting the burn image. Hold on. You know what? You know what? You know what? You know what? You get the you get the potted meat Twinkies.
Now that could be a challenge. See what kind of food we can make float through my town, and record people's reactions. Like pizza floating through on balloons, Pepto hot dog floating by on balloons, dripping Pepto everywhere. This seems like a better challenge. And it could actually be kind of, scientific. We see how much helium it takes to make certain things float, and how
Roxy,
and if certain types of foods float better.
Roxy, stop posting about the Taco Bell wings.
No.
Them Taco Bell wings mid as fuck.
They're not mid.
Potted meat Twinkies. Is that real, or is that a joke? That can't be real. There's no way. There's no way. It looks so real, though. Is it bad that I want to try it? Like, I feel like it would be like a generic corn dog, like a really nasty generic corn dog.
Well, Grant, think about it, because the cream inside a Twinkie is usually like semi-solid and cream-like.
Mm-hmm.
So what if the potted meat was creamy?
Ayo.
It literally says creamy meat filling on it.
Is that the rakes?
Oh, that's a good suggestion, PieWrites. What foods will float in Pepto? Just fill up like a big pot with Pepto and throw different foods in it and see what
Alright, look
floats.
at the newest picture.
Live octopus floating on balloons? Okay. Okay, Poof. I mean, maybe? I don't know. I don't want to hurt the octopus though. I'd feel bad for the octopus. No, not Nesquik on a keyboard. I've had that happen. It's awful. No.
Just pour milk on the keyboard.
Yeah, have you had the Taco Bell wings, by the way?
They're mid as fuck. They put you in the hospital.
I have not had them.
Stop saying
I've
that.
been trying to get a hold of them, but every time I go there, they're sold out.
I've only ever had two things from Taco Bell.
What? Why are there mushrooms inside the... What? Did that just happen?
Or you got it, Grant.
They're growing up underneath it. That just happened, and it like threw it.
Grant, stop judging me.
Like,
I'm not as rich as the rest of you. I sent that to Roxy in confidence. Game in with those keys.
Shit, you cannot post that image.
Why? I
that's
can't
awful.
die.
That is awful.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm should probably stop doing these images before it gets out of hand, because I've got a feeling it's about to get real bad for some reason. Is that?
I was just about to send a bunch of pictures of possums. Dang.
That's what you say, but is that what's actually going to be shown? Alright, well, so, did we decide on a challenge?
Yes.
What foods float in
I don't
Pepto,
know.
or what foods will float with balloons?
I think personally you should just become a Minecraft streamer.
Ew, no.
Start the.
I
Start
mean,
the
people like
GPReeds
that, but me
SMP.
personally, I couldn't handle that much Minecraft. I like Minecraft, but I couldn't make that my thing, you know? Honestly, maybe I could. It's a sad thing. If I was building a bunch of
And then,
things...
I stream Minecraft.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong. That's just personally, I don't know if I could do that all the time, but I might. Depends on if I had people there with me. I would get really bored and lonely in there by myself, because that's what usually happens. I go into I start a private server, nobody joins, so I'm just sitting there building my little Lego house. See, I think that's why I don't like Minecraft.
I would gladly join you, Grant. I would cause so much anarchy, but I would gladly join you.
Well, I've got a new sub channel that's it's the Reader's Corner Gaming. I haven't opened it yet, but I was going to start doing game streams on GPReeds and then archive them on there. But I mean, we could just stream Minecraft on there sometimes, if everybody would be down for that.
I would be down to stream Minecraft with you.
Guys, 2,000 subs and Grant will admin all of us on his Discord.
Okay, because I guess you can offer that.
We still need that role for like people who were there from like years ago, like year one people. Because I'm a year one person. I was there for year one
Bragging,
of
Roxy.
GP. Yeah.
Roxy was one of the first. Honestly, I think it was like 6 months into... No, even that. It was like 5 months into everything, and Roxy was there.
When did you start?
I think it was 4 months. It was 4.
Was it 4? We started 2
Yeah.
years ago, in December.
When did you
Mhm.
start?
2 years ago in December, at the end of December.
Yeah,
But we weren't
Yeah, I
really
remember
serious then. We were doing
like
the ARG,
content.
just kind of doing our thing, and then, you know, after I did the ARG things, when I started doing what I'm doing now, which has only been about, what?
Yeah.
8 months? I've only actually been doing YouTube stuff for like 7-8 months. Was it even that? No, wait a minute. It was August. So August, September, October, November. So like 5 months. Well, I've actually been YouTubing for 5 months. Weird. I mean, technically,
Well, I
you know,
just want-
ARG is still YouTube stuff. It's just storytelling, but that's a weird thing to think about. And everybody's just quiet.
I'm just considering if I should be a possum or not.
It's a good thing to consider.
What if they what if they made FNAF in real life?
What if they made a
Are you
Monos in
okay?
real life? Why have they made Call of Duty in real life?
They've already
So that's
done
just New
that.
York.
It's called the
That's just
U.S.
New York.
military.
That's what I was
Oh,
about
bro,
to say.
that's just the street on New York.
You know, if you think about it this way, it's awful. I'm not gonna do that. That's disrespectful. I was gonna say something about KD, but I'm not going to. No, that's not funny.
Roxy thinks I live in New York City.
Archer, you
Yeah.
probably live in Ohio.
I live in New York.
You're incorrect.
Oh God.
Show me your Tims.
Oh, Grant, I just remembered you also got a live dive, sour salt. Welcome to Solstice 2.
Definitely sour salt. I don't know much about the other ones, but sour salt looked really interesting.
They're all connected to Recollect. They're part of Steel Toast's multiverse.
Wasn't there something else supposed to do with Recollect, or was it just the next season? I'm thinking about.
You're thinking of the next season.
Oh
guys
no,
remember
no,
the
I did forget to
Princeton?
do something with Recollect. It's mainly that just nobody ever really got together, but I was supposed to do an interview with them.
Oh yeah, the interview.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
the cast. Like as many as I can get. It just never happened. Like we started the group DM, one person came, and then it just. So. Need to see if I can get an interview with them.
Yeah. Yeah, but you should also do Solstice, not Recollect, Solstice, Sour Salt, and Blue,
Solstice,
because those are all who. I'll send you a link to it.
Okay.
But they're all connected to Recollect, and they're all going to be important for the Recollect epilogues and Limit Break.
Man, freaking the final chapters in Recollect were so awesome. The effects and everything.
Yeah. Oh my god, the epilogues are going to be so good.
Yeah, I'm excited.
You guys
about
remember the fear incident?
I remember the Fear incident. That was definitely a series.
that.
He's a really good friend of mine. Then he just quit.
Yeah, I'll have to get back
Yeah.
to you all on the challenge though, because the more I'm reading and the more I'm like, oh my gosh, with my irritable bowel, like it's gonna cause me to just not be able to live. So maybe more so
it
dipping
worth it
something
for
in
the
there
content?
or the balloon challenge. No, this would be stupid. I don't know if I actually do this, but it would be funny. Just get
So
like
I'll
80
do it.
balloons and tie hot dogs to them and cover the hot dogs in Pepto and just kind of fly over my town, just drip Pepto everywhere.
you suddenly no longer have a hot dog or balloons. That is a $20 joke that you
Yeah,
will
I'm not
never
going
see
to.
again.
I'm just joking, but yeah.
Ooh, Dingus just said in the chat that she would be willing to come into the call next time you do a PieWrites stream.
Yeah, for sure. PieWrites, yeah.
Oh, yo.
If you would like to talk next time, it'd be awesome. If we continue tomorrow, which we probably will, if you want to jump into the DM and chat with us while we're going, for sure.
Dingus.
I can't after 3:30 tomorrow because I'm in a cool heckin' book club, so.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're in a book club? Of course you are.
Before 3:30, sorry.
But-
Yeah, I'm in a book club. What are you gonna do about it?
I'm gonna make you read a book that you won't enjoy.
Oh, dude, I just read a book about basketball for my book club. It's great. I don't like basketball though.
I'm gonna make you read a Python coding book.
We do
Yeah,
actually
you
have another
won't.
challenge coming up, though, for when we get to... Because right now I'm at 7 patrons. When I get to 10 patrons, I'm going to do a day of drag, and that includes whatever videos I make that day. Live streams, everything. So, I mean, we have that coming up, but I'm trying to think of a challenge that would be different and not self-harming. Or, you know, damaging neighbors' property with Pepto. I don't know,
Mom
we'll
is
get back
gonna be
on it.
really
We'll get back on it.
my Pepto foods in my search history.
Ooh, I have a challenge for you.
Oh.
Uh,
Cheer without the
Oh.
sauce. That's Roxy's challenge.
no, we can discuss that. We can discuss that later because I want this challenge, if you do it, to be a surprise.
Doo-doo.
I hate you. You know that?
Do you?
Paint with Pepto?
No,
Yeah.
you're my best friend.
I have to paint 86 hot dogs with Pepto. No. I have to paint 1,500 hot dogs using Pepto.
You guys know that video, the Unisonus video? Ethan had all of the hot dogs in his mouth at one time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If Grant does that.
Oh
I
my
feel
God.
like that would spark something that we wouldn't want.
Let's
That would
not
summon a
do
lot
that.
of fanfiction.
Let's not do that. Thanks.
It's a lot of fanfiction we don't
Mhm.
want.
Dude,
I'd rather
no,
not
no,
be
no.
browsing Twitter and see Grant trending.
You already
I'd rather not see it on Wattpad.
back when the ARG was a thing, somebody started a fanfic with Hootie and Ara, a not safe for work
No.
fanfic.
No.
I was so upset. I was like, okay, for one, do you not realize Hootie is a child? It was all kinds of bad. I had to. They took it down, luckily, but they were trying to make that a thing, and it was bad. It was so bad.
That he
Horrible.
would track me down and find my Wattpad account. I'm scared.
I don't know. We'll figure something out. But I definitely want to do something as a challenge. That's not the Patreon.
When you said Hootie, I completely forgot who you were talking about, and I thought of that little guy from the Owl House.
This little dude. But in the ARG, he represented a child, so it was kind of super wrong.
I was sent NSFW stuff about Amos, and I was like, hey, please don't. And they're like, why? He's dead. I'm like, that's worse.
That, yeah.
That is
That
necrophilia.
is awful. People, man, tell you.
Horny
Do
people.
whatever they can. Then I got like stuff about Pax and Alder, and I was like, cool, I guess. Please don't send that to me, please, because my partner plays Pax, and they were like, maybe don't.
We just talked about the challenge for an hour. It's 3.5 hour stream now.
Nice.
Oh my God.
Mission
How was
completed.
that an hour? Yeah, we need to go ahead and
There's
cut
no
this.
way.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I'm looking at it right now, live. It says 3 hours, 31 minutes, and 45 seconds.
Horny people glares at chat.
Well, yeah, we need to go ahead and wrap this up. We'll come back. It's got so off the rails. I'm probably, in the live replay, I'm gonna clip off most of the end here. But yeah, it was fun. Hey,
No,
had
it
fun
all
with everybody.
stays in. Take the rest and just put it into a completely different thing.
Mhm.
Just make a 1 hour and like 15-minute clip of us just talking about random
The
subjects.
gang talks about Pepto for an hour.
Post it on the secret channel and then just leak it to Reddit.
Foxy's gonna put it all over her private Twitters.
Yes, tweet it
This
out, retweet it.
image.
Mhm.
The ones about the chairs that she eats. She
No,
fantasizes
I don't eat chairs.
about-
With
Dirty
no
Luma.
sauce too, like a
With no
gremlin.
sauce!
Honestly, I'm glad we had this conversation though before I ended up doing something with Pepto and actually hurting myself. Though I had no idea that like an
How
overabundance
much
of it could
Pepto
mess
can you
up.
like? How much can you take before you just like flat out die?
I don't know, but apparently just a little bit, if you have susceptibility to it, can like just completely destroy your
Pepto?
digestive tract.
How much Pepto Bismol is too much? Let's look. Alright.
Anyway,
More
had a
than
great
you
time. I'm
should.
glad we had this chat. I'm glad you all came on to chat with me while we're doing this. Had a great time.
Mhm.
Definitely want to do it again. I am excited about having PieWrites on with us next time. Yeah, it's a great stream, everybody. I appreciate you all, and thank you all for those of you who have not been in one of our streams before. Thank you all for subscribing. Thank you all for checking out the show. We do live dives at least once a week, so we'll have all kinds of videos in this vein of genre or whatever. And then also, I do every once in a while have some rants, some reviews, and if I really like it, well, it's not that I really like a show, but if I really get into a show and have some kind of theory, I'll have videos. I have theory videos on those as well. So you get a little bit of everything. It's all kind of in this realm, though. It's all kind of in the ARG Unfiction community. So if you like Unfiction, you like ARGs, you have one you want me to check out, send me a message on Twitter, Instagram, or Discord, and maybe we'll do a live dive of your show. So again, I really appreciate you all for showing up today. Thank you, Katie, for stopping by the stream. Very glad to see you. Glad you could make a stream, and hopefully we didn't make you leave with our antics, because we can get kind of crazy. But If not, and you're still here, I will see you next time. Thank you all so much again for watching. Keep your eyes wide open, never stop reading, and cue the awkward exit of trying to get to the stop stream button. You want to say bye as well, real quick, before I do that? No.
You know what? Hold on.
Go watch Rem Sleep.
Yeah, go
I'm gonna leave you with this passing quote. Wait, hold on. A passing quote from the Cole Jensen Twitter. Men.
Okay.
That's also pinned in the Church of the Raindrops.
It is.
Okay, now I like men.
Men.
Then there's just the Hatsune Miku lyrics.
Yeah.
And
was a
again,
weird
happy
time.
birthday, Roxy, by the way. One more time.
Birthday, Roxy!
Thank you.
Let me just reverse glasses and see this stop stream button. Yeah, my vision is really bad, by the way. I can't see my computer, and I can reach it with my hand. That's how bad it is.
My glasses broke when I was at a volleyball game, and I wasn't even wearing them.